There we go.
Welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it isn't often, in fact, it's never, that I've had a musical guest on the show. And with me tonight, it's a couple of guys that, well, I've known one of them for a really long time, and they're being silly. I have recently realized that they have continued their musical career, and which is a fantastic thing. And I've been blessed to come out and actually be able to work with them and take pictures of them. I'm trying to say something other than shoot because, today's time you can't really just walk around and say shoot. But I've been able to come out to their shows and photograph them. There, that sounds better. Capture, yeah. So tonight they are gracing me with their presence on this show and for you. And hopefully, if they feel like it, they brought their guitars. And if they're feeling froggy, maybe they'll play a little ditty, a little something for us. So I'm pretty excited about that. With me tonight, I have Sparks and the Garden. Welcome to the show.
That's the most applause we've got in a long time.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah,
we should start doing that.
Studio audience. You want to bring like a laugh track too? You bring like an
yeah.
applause
Laugh,
track,
definitely,
laugh
both.
track,
Mm-hmm.
in case you tell a joke in between songs.
Applause, yeah.
So introduce, because like they can only see one of us at a time. So introduce yourselves for the audience. I know who you are, but this is not for me.
I like that. I'm glad. I'm glad you got that in there. Not for me.
He said introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Yeah, but
You want me to go first?
don't you always?
Lead singers.
That's what I'm saying. Like Tim's like the
My-
leader of the thing. And so
Are
I
you the
just
leader
figured
of the
he would-
pack?
My name is Tim.
My name's Jeff.
And my name is CJ, and we are brothers.
They are brothers.
And our last name is Fluhartey, and that's pretty different.
No, nobody was asking.
What kind of name is that? Is that
Horrible.
Elvish?
Embarrassing is what it,
Really?
yeah.
Is it worse than Mullis? I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Mullis kind of sounds like a fish.
I think two
It
syllables.
The
doesn't-
mullis fish.
yeah.
You catch them in Alaska.
I used to get people calling me Mullet all the time.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was their way to razz me. You make fun of people's names. Like I had a friend in school. His last name was LaFata. Of course, he was the farter. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
But like when you're I gotta take those fucking noise gates off. It's fucking pissing me off.
I hear it.
Yeah. When you're in like elementary school, you're like your brain is this big. So I mean, it's not much bigger now. Anyways,
people do try to make fun of our names sometimes.
do they still
I know.
to this point in your age?
Yeah, you would think there's a bunch of jokes in Fluhartey, but there really aren't. There's none.
No, those flu-hearted people.
Right. It's terrible. But our last name is Irish.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
sounds like.
I have this experience on a regular basis where somebody will ask, like whether I'm on the phone with like a credit card company, something where they don't know who I am, and I tell them, you go, yeah, first name Tim, whatever, last name Fluhartey. They go, I'm sorry. I go, yeah,
Me too.
Yeah.
So, if you guys haven't watched the show, I'll kind of give you a little rundown. Like this show, I started it out by myself, just doing like photography, videography, audios type stuff, and it was just me. And then I think it was only like within the last year, halfway through last year, maybe. I don't know how long it's been, but I started doing these interviews, and I had all this gear set up in the shop here, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and interview people. We'll live stream it,
Absolutely.
So it's been working out pretty good, and I like to have people that are business owners or creatives like yourselves, photographers, artists. Tim is being super silly right now.
What do you mean?
He's not actually that
The
short.
fact that he set his chair that low.
He set his chair all the way to the bottom.
ridiculous.
No, it's fine.
It is all the way to the bottom. I checked.
Yeah, they say when you hit rock bottom, the only place to go is up, right? So I think through the rest of this show, I think he's like planning on growing through the show. I don't really know.
I was
That'd
going to
actually
ask
be
him.
great.
It's not that kind of show.
I was going to ask him what shire he was from.
Ew.
Hey.
I don't know their names, but one of them, yeah.
What? Yeah. What are? I don't know. It doesn't
No,
matter.
I don't know.
I'm almost as hairy as a hobbit, probably.
I definitely am,
Yeah.
for sure. More Sasquatchy, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. So Tim and I don't. What year did you graduate? You went to Mandarin, right?
1993.
So you went to school with my sisters, like you were there the same year as they were there.
Probably.
You don't know? You remember a Misty and Christy Mullis?
So I remember the names of a lot of the folks
There
that
was
we
a
went to high
lot of
school.
Misties and Christies back then.
Yeah, there
That's
were.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, there still are.
Really?
Yeah,
Star.
I think now but now they're like they
Destiny.
add like the little Mistopher
Destiny.
and Christopher or something. You know, they make it weird, or they
Sure.
spell it like with a Q.
I've only met one. Never mind. It's just I knew several Misties when we were in school, but
Oh.
I haven't really met one in the wild since then.
You remember? That was her last name. I didn't want to say it on
yeah.
the thing, but yeah,
Well,
I dated that girl
No.
It's-
Nice.
for like 5 minutes.
never mind.
I had a very short.
Well, I was just like in
You're
one
among
in one of the
friends.
jobs that I used to do, I had to talk to like an attorney office, and they had a person there who answered the phone on a regular basis, and her name was Misty Bush.
Oh God.
I'm serious.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, imagine your name is Richard Head. You know?
Right.
Mm. I have a friend whose last name is Head, and he named his kid Peter. Anyways, that's real. That's real shit.
That's good
Jesse,
work.
if you're out there, I love you. That you know. Anyways, it's whatever. But I don't think we we didn't go to school. Maybe we were there at the same time. I don't fucking know. But you guys have been playing music for a long fucking time. A long time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
How long would you say?
Well, at least since then.
It's been a millennia.
Yeah. So what happened?
It was 1989 when we got or it would have been 88, I think,
Mm.
when he got his first guitar. I think that
Was it?
would have
Something
would have
like
been
that.
like around November or December of 88, I think.
I would have said a year later, but regardless, around that same time, yeah.
But
when
it
I
was in the
started
summer.
playing
It was
guitar.
It was
stuff.
89 when I started messing with the
Not
drums.
unlike the summer of '69.
Wow.
When you
I
got-
saw Bryan Adams last night, and
Did you
he
really?
was
Wow.
fantastic.
Did you really?
Yes.
I've
he
heard
played
that his show
downtown
is
Jackson.
good.
Screaming.
I- I could not
It's all right.
say enough great things about Bryan Adams. Everything that you remember about his voice, he still
Yeah.
has all of it. He played guitar the whole time. His band is fantastic.
I've heard that he takes really good care of himself. Like he's like one of them yoga dudes and like eats all clean and shit.
Would not surprise me at all
Yeah.
to find out. He is 64.
Yeah.
And if you turned off the lights, you would swear it's 1990 because the guy sang everything in all the original keys. It was fantastic. I'm sorry, you brought up Summer of '69, and so now
Yeah,
I'm
you
on
just
a Bryan
said turn
Adams
off the
thing.
lights.
I,
I'm just yeah.
I just meant like you wouldn't know how old he was.
so like when he came
He's
to bed,
literally
you would be like,
64.
I would
Right.
never know.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
When he climbs under the sheets with you, you just can't even tell that
He feels the same. He's still hard.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah. We just took a right turn there. We're gonna get back. Yeah. That.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, CJ. I apologize.
That's fine.
I do like to cut up a little bit. You know, just like we do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're all what do you call it? Adults.
Adults.
Something like
Yes.
that. Yeah.
And hopefully adults are watching this and not children.
Oh no. This goes out to YouTube kids.
It does not.
It does not. It does not. Anyone that's 18 or older can witness this train wreck.
So where the train derailed, you asked about like how
Yeah.
long we've been playing music together. So Tim got a drum set around the same time that I got an electric guitar and an amp.
like 6 months later.
you know.
Okay.
And our bedroom doors faced each other, and so the drum set was set up here, sort of facing out from the corner, and my amp was setting here, and so we would.
And with your powers combined, you drove your parents insane.
They were
we had nothing to do with that. that predates us by quite a bit.
they were
That's
they were
usually
very
the case.
supportive all along.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had older sisters, and they were musically inclined until a point, and then they were just done. And when I started playing, it was like I didn't have you guys were lucky you had each other.
Yes.
to play
Very
with each other.
fortunate.
Yeah, it was very nice.
I mean, you could have came over. He's like one
Yeah,
neighborhood away.
Was I?
the house door was not hard to find. I mean, if you just
I didn't know that. You guys
grab a
lived
beer.
right
It
around.
was literally walking distance. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I had no idea.
I didn't know
How
where
the
you lived, so
I lived right off old Ricky Drive
Yeah.
in Mandarin.
it's not that close. But we lived off of.
I mean, we walked to Walmart a couple of times. Like,
Okay.
yeah, because
but
you
through
could
the
go.
woods.
Oh,
the
dude,
back
we were.
way.
I was always riding my bike and shit back there.
That's what I'm
always.
saying. Yeah.
For sure. Well, I don't know if I knew that you lived there. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
like when I first met him in high school, he kind of scared me a little bit.
Because I'm so big.
No,
right.
it was your sunny disposition, I believe. No, I was a very timid kid in high school, little mousy fella. But I will never forget. Like we had like for the jazz band, I guess they had the drum set up in there, and I was tooling around on it, not doing very good. And Tim came over and said, "Let me show you something, man."
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, even if you mess up, just fucking stick it. Act like you meant to do it, and just keep going. And he told me that, and it stuck with me through my whole musical career. I swear to God. And I watched him play, and I was just like, oh my God, this dude is so good. Like, I mean, I was blown away. And as a drummer, I was just like, I don't think I'll ever attain that level of percussion skills.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I did.
Right. And a couple of weeks after that, yeah.
Right. Like 15 minutes later. Yeah.
3 hours later.
Yeah, Tim was a very good drummer, and I think that's good advice no matter how old you are.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
If you're somebody who maybe you're in your 40s and you finally bought a drum set,
Right.
play it.
Play it.
And act like you meant to do all those things.
Right.
And guitar too, right? Some of these instruments, I think it's a little more difficult to be that cavalier about. It would probably be difficult to do what I just said with the saxophone, right? Because there's so much training that goes into notes and where you're actually at.
It's probably easier
But,
to stop and then just pick back up where you left off if you're with a group of people playing a saxophone.
Sure, but to the point that you made where he said, act
Stick
like
it.
you meant to do that. That can serve you really well as a guitar player and as a drummer, absolutely, and bass player too. I think pianists might not have that same luxury.
Oh no, you're gonna know when they hit a wrong key.
Yeah,
like real quick.
It's tough, but all the great pianists that I know have made mistakes and they walk right out of it really fast. So
Yeah.
Anyway, I've been very fortunate to not just play music with Tim, but a lot of people, and I'm really thankful. You know? So to hear that there's this story of kind of inspiration, even at the beginning, that's powerful and great. And thanks for saying something kind about
nice
Tim.
Yeah. Listen, I have nothing but good things to say about both of you. Okay, y'all are silly and you're fun, and I love hanging out with y'all for real.
Right back at you.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like, I don't even remember how we kind of connected again, because it kind of was a minute, and then you might have reached out to me and asked me. I don't remember how that went.
Yeah, I think just Facebook.
Yeah,
because I saw that you were shooting people.
Yeah.
With a camera.
Yeah. Yes. Add that caveat, please.
Yeah.
The government is listening.
Always.
Yeah, it was the photography thing, so I was like, hey, maybe we can work
together.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, when I first came out and saw you guys, I was blown away. I remember hearing you guys play together. I don't know if you guys sang together, but in school they had these, like, you remember, like, they would have like band night or something, like Battle of the Bands or some shit like that. It would be like all these different bands would get up and play.
Yeah, like right in the courtyard.
Yeah, by the clock tower. And I remember you were singing what song was that? God darn it. I love this song too, but I'm completely gapping it.
I remember that we each year
you played with one of your teachers.
They did the thing called Coffee House, and
that was it.
Yeah, we got together a group. My favorite time was when we got together a group and we played Black Water by the Doobie Brothers.
That was the one.
So much fun. And
I don't know why my brain. I could hear it in my head.
Emily, I'm so sorry, I can't remember her last name, but she was.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, Fish. That's right.
Yeah.
She played fantastic violin, and she did the violin part, and I did the guitar thing. And a bunch of our friends sang all those backup harmonies and vocal parts, and it was a lot of fun.
It really was.
Yeah,
It was good times. That was probably one of my favorite performances at that coffee house event, and I used to go to all of them. I don't think I ever played at any of them, but you know,
that's sad.
yeah, no, we didn't. Like, do you guys remember Tony Lawal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you might not.
Yeah.
I don't, but yeah.
He
I would've
does. He was.
graduated
Yeah,
from-
he played like third base or some shit in the band. We were all band geeks. I mean, except for CJ. I think he was out of that, geek status.
Me? I wasn't in the marching band, but I was absolutely in jazz band with
Okay.
Lee Ponder, right?
Yep.
He was the.
Do you remember Greg Wilkinson?
Absolutely, fantastic
That
guy.
dude was a.
He's still a beast. He
Yeah.
plays in this great band up in North Carolina. I'm sorry, the name of the country artist escapes me, but
Yeah.
he's still making great music.
Now he was a great inspiration too. And like when I first, my very first, not to just make this about me and have you guys drive an hour over here just to talk about me, but it's my show.
That's why we came. Please,
I have a
tell
mic.
Tell us more.
No,
I'm
but
just kidding.
my very first day at you hear that noise gate? It's fucking annoying the shit out of me. I'll turn it off later on. But my first day in the band, I was very overwhelmed because they were just jamming. You go in and it's like they had like different classes, different periods were for different. Mine was percussion class, or just drums and
Okay.
percussion, and they were rocking the fuck out. And I went in there and I went to Mr. Ponder and I was like, hey, I think I'm in the wrong class. I signed up for a beginning band. He goes, it's all the same. I was like, shit.
That's not fair.
No.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this isn't going to be good. But Greg came over and like put his arm around me. He's like, come on, man. He'd put some cymbals in my hand. And first 2 years I played, I was a cymbal holder.
Sure.
That was my thing. But no, those were good times. I'm glad that they gave like an outlet. Like there wasn't much back then. Like the musical scene was not as popping for me, anyways. I don't know for you guys, but like I joined a band shortly after high school, and we played for like 7 years in Jacksonville, and we didn't get a following until we went to Gainesville, and people. All the drunk college kids were like coming out and they were like, fucking yeah, man. But I shall not say the name of the band.
Oh, you won't?
Oh,
Okay.
is that what you're going to ask?
I was going to ask what was the name of the band?
It was Schwarre.
Ouch.
Yeah, right? It's a mouthful. Well, it was, we were like those people that like wanted to be cool with the name. So like we were like, it's E-Ray. But then we use the upside down E, like the phonetical E. It's called a schwa when you look in the dictionary.
What is he talking about?
Exactly. That's exactly the reaction that we would get. So we were like, it's schwarre, but with the upside down E. Anyways, nobody ever got it. Maybe one person in our entire career. Yeah. So we just put it in parentheses and said, fuck it, and just made it schwarre, and then just took the E and made it like our logo. But yeah, no, never, the musical scene was not fantastic. Jackrabbits, that was pretty much the only place you could play, or like the Imperial. I think we played the Milk Bar a few times.
Milk Bar.
And then before they closed up, because it was a fucking fire hazard and a half. But for you guys right now, how would you say the scene is for music, live music, like original music here in Jacksonville?
I mean, I think it's pretty healthy. A few of the people that we're friends with now have kind of mentioned that, like, the COVID shutdown sort of gave them a push.
Really?
Yeah, so to some degree, the COVID shutdown sort of flooded the original music talent thing happening. I mean,
kind of flushed it out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people, I guess they, for whatever reason, that was their kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Je ne sais quoi.
Their outlet.
Well, it had been that before, but during the shutdown, they're like, well, I want to do this, I want to actually go out and do it now.
Right.
Like, I want to share with other,
Like their art.
Right.
Not just play other people's.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a motivator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to the question, how is the scene?
I mean, if you're talking about the places where you can go watch original bands play music, there's like 3 or 4.
Really?
I feel like there's a lot of places that are maybe advertising that they would love to have that, right? Most places, I feel like, they kind of want a cover band. They want people to play songs that everybody knows and
Right.
likes, and that's okay. It's not bad. It's just
There's plenty of venues that want to hire cover bands. There's very few venues that want to bring in original bands.
Right.
So I mean, Jackrabbits is still king of that list.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
Do y'all play ever at Jackrabbits?
we haven't yet.
You haven't yet?
No.
Well, maybe you will now.
we have not yet. And
You're
I
probably
think
not missing
so.
much.
That's one slice of your question is places to play. I would like to address really quickly though another slice of that question. The performers who are in and the people who make original music in Jacksonville
Right.
are fantastic. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of really
Yeah, that
good
was the thing that I was saying at first.
Yeah.
When you asked the question, I mean, there's lots of people, and
They felt the need to express themselves,
And-
through.
and I would say like the quality level is really high.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of good stuff out there. I mean, we could list them all, not all of them, but some of them that we know.
Yeah. And you guys have been playing as Sparks in the Garden now for how long?
Like trying to use that name to say like that, really not like 2019.
I'd have to look in when the first Instagram post was to tell you the truth because it'd be around that time.
Well, but we didn't like try to be at a gig saying we're called Sparks in the Garden
Right.
for a while.
at the same time that the first Instagram post under that account name is from like August of 2018.
Okay.
But
That's a pretty good long time, though.
it would have been at least a year after that before we performed something saying
Yeah.
yeah.
And you feel like you got I would say you got a pretty decent following right now.
Well, I would say that numerically speaking, it's a smaller group, but
Yeah.
I feel like the people that follow us, particularly, in my mindset is always on Instagram because that's what we actually mess with.
Right.
Like, no, whatever is on Facebook, it's only because it automatically goes from Instagram to Facebook.
Right. I just meant like out to the live shows, like people come out to see you.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, the point that I was trying to say is just that I feel like the people that are following us, like they're actually into it,
Right.
and we have some, we have a connection to those people,
Yeah.
and
Well, your music it's different. It's not like anything I've heard. I mean, there's
it's not like those songs that you wanted to hear.
what do you mean?
It's not. It's
That's
not.
right.
Explain that.
He's
Mocking himself. What is he
yes,
doing?
He's mocking himself.
That's fine.
It's not like that
You can go to the corner.
good
sir.
music that you
Right. It's
that you download.
where do I?
I downloaded all your I paid for it on your website and bought all your music.
That's so
Thank you
awesome.
very
And
much.
then I went to Amazon and just got it off of that for free. Well, I mean, I had it on iTunes. I saved it all on my iTunes, and then I fucking canceled my iTunes account.
Mm.
So, but I already paid for it, so you got my money.
We are very thankful for folks who would listen to our songs a second time.
Oh my god, dude! I like
I'll take a first time.
I use your
honestly.
music a lot, like on my reels and shit. I mean, I do. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm I'm kind of fangirling right now.
Well, we feel
But
like we want to make good music, and so the fact that you like it,
Right.
that's awesome, and like thank you,
Yeah.
because there are some folks who are like that who are just so complimentary and so kind. We've got some close friends who, like yourself, who just have really good things to say about our music,
Right.
and it's awesome when you have friends and people that you know who care about you
Yeah.
are building you up.
Sure.
It's a totally different experience when somebody shows up to your show and we were playing at this thing, and this girl comes a week after our Taller Weeds thing came out, and she says, "Play Still Keep Them Around," and she like yells it from the back of the room, and we were kind of like,
Yeah.
We're getting requests.
"We don't know you,
I was
and
totally
you know
shocked,
our
yeah.
songs."
It's always
I feel bad. I feel like she'll never come to see us again because, like she hollered that out from the crowd, and I was like, "What?"
What is that?
We're just blown away that
That's not one of our songs.
I was not.
ma'am.
I was not expecting someone to say our, the name of our song.
Yeah.
That wasn't a person that we actually knew.
Right.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so that was cool.
The dogs are barking. No, I honestly, there is something to that, and I say this as a creative all the time. I see it, and photographers, young photographers, they get this point when they first get started on their whatever content creator journey, because when you're a photographer, you're not, or an artist of any caliber, yourselves as well. You're not just a musician. You're not just a photographer. You're a fucking content creator now. You've got to put shit out all the time, constantly. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of cool. You of course, the first group of people that will follow you are your like mom, dad, brother, sister, right. Your cousins, your aunts, and they're like, I love your shit, but like you said, when you start getting people following you and commenting on your posts or coming into the show and requesting things that you've never met before, it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels nice when your family is like rooting you, but that's only going to last so long. You know what I mean? And you really can't get album sales like that. I can't get gigs that way. I say that, and my nephew he's about to hire me for some more maternity shoot. So, I guess I can, but I'm saying,
the point.
Yeah. It's a weird thing, but it's so true. I mean, when you hit that level, and you feel like you've got people coming in that are just like, hey, that's when I feel like that's when it should start clicking, with you guys. Now I know it's already clicking because you're doing a fantastic job, and I'm
trying.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to like really just kiss your asses or anything, because I'm not into that. But watch it, Tim. He made a face. But I really do enjoy the music, and I listen to it on repeat quite a bit. What would you say? I'm going to kind of run through some of these like canned questions because it's what I do, and then we can just get into like, crack one open.
Questions.
What would you say your influences are? Like, all right, before I do that, should I say what I think they are, and then you can tell me if I'm right?
Should have had like a secret ballot. You write down
like a scratch off or something,
like the Newlywed Game.
Yeah,
but no, do that because. Maybe then we can just agree and move on to the next question.
So every time he says something, just nod.
Yeah. Do that.
Amazing.
Well, I get like Blues Traveler vibes. I get Dave Matthews vibes. I get what is that other band? Fuck. Is it Cake? Is that the name of the band? I think it is. But I get like
there's a band called Cake.
Called Cake.
I feel like I get vibes from that. Are those the guys that sang like the theme song for? I'm drawing
Bare Naked Ladies.
The Bare Naked Ladies. That is who I'm thinking of.
I thought he was going to say Celine Dion.
Yes, fully, 100%.
The theme song for Big Bang Theory is what.
That was what I was trying to
say.
Yeah. But I get like some of that. I mean, just a lot. Kind of like I don't even know what do you classify yourselves as? Like, what group would you be under if I went into FYE?
Sure. So I genuinely I've started saying, and take it for what it might mean to you, but I've started telling people that I genuinely feel like people would classify us as country music if we sang with the Southern accent. If you heard our songs, let's fall in love again. If Tim sang with that Southern accent, you would absolutely say, "Oh, country."
Yeah.
Done. And that would be the end of the song. But because we're sort of singing with the voices that are natural to us, you don't feel inclined to call it country.
No.
But I think that's probably, it's somewhere between country and rock and folk,
Yeah, I was going to say maybe a little folk.
It's basically folk rock.
Yeah.
Or you could say acoustic rock and be a little more generic.
Yeah, because you guys do, like, you rock out hardcore on some of your songs, and solos and all that good stuff. I mean, and so not to get too far off of that, but what are some of your inspirations as far as, like, musical people?
You should go first, Tim.
I'm curious.
Yes.
Well, there's dozens and dozens of them. Like, in terms of the way we sound, like Jason Isbell, James Taylor, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
like
was
Keith Urban. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like some of those. I think those are I don't know.
Because it's very clean
But
music. Like, you know, they have really good voices and clean audio. It's weird to say.
Right.
I don't know if that
That's a
translates.
good way to talk
I don't
about
know
it.
if that's translating right, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's not fucking Nirvana, you know? It doesn't sound like a garbage
Right.
can. Like
Well, I mean, the stuff that we're doing, you know, fundamentally the acoustic guitar is at the center of it.
Right.
So, you know, you have to kind of work it out from there.
right.
So yeah, I mean, I like when you said Dave Matthews. I mean, in terms of how the instruments have to kind of work together, that makes sense. In terms of the skill level, no,
Right.
Dave Matthews
He's
stuff
on
is
another
just,
level.
And
Well, he's put together an ensemble cast over there of like some of the top freaking musicians in the world.
Sure. But you could also sit down at a Dave Matthews with just him and a guitar and be blown
yeah.
away, right?
Oh, for
He's
100%.
Fantastic
A
guitar
lot of
player.
the stuff that I like from him is like the acoustic type stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
But Blues Traveler too. You said. I mean, I feel like all these are bands that we obviously, you know, we listened to it a lot when, you know, back in the 90s.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
But like in terms of the skill level of what we're putting on, we're not.
We're still working on
We're
that
not-
part.
Don't
you know,
sell
trying
yourself
to,
short.
Well, I
trying
mean,
to do
so
better with each new song.
part of my stuff is like, you know, it's just I haven't learned any more complicated stuff than that. So it is that basic.
Yeah.
But part of it is also intentional though. Like you know, when we were growing up, one of the best things about music was like songs. If you're just on the back porch with one guitar, it still works.
Right.
And that's the kind of music that I want to make. You know, like I think when like in terms of success or blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. But in terms of like being satisfied with accomplishing something, I'll be satisfied when I hear somebody on the back porch covering my song. You know,
That would be dope.
that's the kind of that's sort of the goal that I'm after. You know, because you know a lot of what we do is pretty simple, really, and you know part of that is you know very like that. Those are choices, you know,
Right. Right.
to do it that way so that anybody else can just do it. You know,
Yeah.
but. What other influences? I mean, they're honestly like my biggest influences musically, like to keeping me interested.
Yeah.
You know, to motivate me to maybe try writing my own song. You know, like they're probably not as obvious in the way that we sound. Like Living Color. I mean,
Oh yeah.
just
Fucking love in Living Color.
those guys. Like I wore out those first two records. I mean, I never had the records, but the CDs.
You had the CDs, you had
Just-
the tapes at
just
first.
over and over again.
discs. kids.
Basically, like you know, I would listen to those CDs so much that the CD player would die.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously Dave Matthews, we'd listen to that a ton.
Yeah.
James Taylor, I mean that one's
Cardi
maybe
B.
not so obvious,
Oh,
right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. She's at
But-
the top of
Little
the
Wiz Khalifa.
list.
I don't even know who these
So-
people are.
so
I'm
you
just
said-
saying pop names. I
We
think.
say James Taylor, and I think it's important to say that we heard the James Taylor live album first. Like, I don't remember listening to the studio albums of James Taylor, and that might sound one way or however you take that.
Yeah.
But I listened, my first real James Taylor exposure was the James Taylor live album, and that's a different experience than his sort of toned down, if you will, studio work, you know? And but yeah, we wore that
James
out for
Taylor.
sure.
Seal.
Loved
That was
all
a
the
big
stuff.
one. Oh, yeah.
The
That's
first
crazy.
Seal album was fantastic.
Thank you. I
Uh,
appreciate that.
Was it Trevor Horn, I think, that produced that, and he's amazing. He's been amazing all along. I loved Sting.
And that wasn't obvious, right? Because Crazy was the first
Yeah.
commercial release,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not
Right.
really like dance pop kind of people.
Right.
But a friend of ours kind of just convinced us to listen to the rest of the album, and then we're like, "Whoa," you know?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever listened to the full album. I
Well,
mean,
we'll do that before you leave.
Yeah,
because it's incredible.
let's make time
before I leave.
before we leave
before
here.
we leave.
Okay. Before
Yeah.
you. I was gonna say, I'm
Immediately.
Yeah, I
pretty
think
much
you're,
staying
you'll
here.
probably be
The-
here longer than us.
The
Yeah.
first Seal album is just so good, start to finish.
Yeah.
And the second one.
And I love this. Yeah. And they're, I mean, he's been an influence all along.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
definitely a talented guy,
Yeah.
songwriter, and
But that's what is one of those things, right? Like the way that our music sounds doesn't reference that at all.
right. No, I would not have guessed Seal.
But having Seal running through your brain like all night long because you left the CD player on and you just went to sleep. You know what I mean? Like the thought process, the kind of like the engagement with, because the acoustic guitar work on those Seal records still blows my mind.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I'll have to check it out. I honestly.
No, it's so legit. If you never listened to it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, what's funny is, I don't know why it just popped in my head, but we're dating ourselves right now.
of course,
for
yeah.
these-
My kids would just
What's a CD? But
Yeah, they call it
Can't do anything about that.
a lot
they
of
call
my,
it
a lot
dad
of my-
music.
yeah.
That's how they slap me in the face. They're like, I'm like, hey,
Do you got your New Balances?
well, like
on?
literally, my kids, yes,
I know you wear Vans. Get out of town.
but at home I wear New Balance.
Nice.
My house shoes,
You're
The white with the
your
blue
grass-
and
the house shoes that I don't wear anymore.
They're a little green on the bottom from when you cut the grass.
I
Why are
mean,
you over at his house all the
all
time?
these-
I
no,
gotta
but
check the height.
it's funny though, because my kids like my younger son right now, like he likes Tool.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
love
been like
Tool.
rocking out to Tool in the
Did
other.
you get him into Perfect Circle?
And I haven't I got him like speakers for his computer.
Yeah.
So like
That's all you hear.
yeah, I mean he can blast it pretty good in there if he wants to. But and he's been listening to like Nirvana and stuff, and so like when my kids are listening to this stuff, I go like, hey, you check out this record, and they go like, I'm not listening to dad music. I'm like, but you are.
But you are.
Like you.
the craziest shit is when they say this is classic rock.
Oh come on.
That's not classic rock.
Well, it is now. Anything that's 20 years
It's more
old
than
is
20 years
classic.
old, yeah.
It's got a blue license plate.
You know what else too? Rush was probably like one of our biggest
Oh, yeah.
influences. I mean,
I-
especially because I played drums. I still
Yes.
in my mind I'm a drummer.
YYZ.
And when I have the guitar in my hand, it just never feels right. I don't know what I'm doing with the guitar, but
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, when you decide, like, I would have assumed that when you guys started playing together, like, out as a unit, that you would be playing drums and he would be playing guitar and singing.
we've done that.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's okay.
That's not bad.
Well, we still like
It's all right.
We'll still do like a 2-man acoustic thing where I use the cajon some of the time.
What? The what?
The cajon.
What is that?
It's like a traditional Peruvian percussion instrument.
Oh,
it's
is that
a
the
box
box?
that you sit on?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But it
I
has
never
like,
knew what it was called.
It has snare wires on that touch the front faceplate.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it makes a nifty little.
Almost like a brush.
Well,
We'll
I mean,
use these.
well, sometimes they rattle. I mean, you
Yeah.
can kind of It depends. They're not all exactly the same as you can imagine. But
Right. We're getting technical, folks.
yeah,
Mhm.
the cajon. And my favorite thing about cajon is
Cojones on this guy.
anytime I'm texting him and I say something about the cajon, like autocorrect puts some other dumb word in there
Always.
every single time. I'm
You
like,
have
oh,
to respell it 3 times.
That's funny.
yeah. So,
It doesn't pick up on the old LP.
but it's like
percussion gear.
you. I'm sure you're aware of a period of time when knuckleheads all across the country started using a djembe,
Of course.
and they would try to use it like it's a bass and snare drum,
Yes.
which I find to just be fundamentally irritating.
Yeah.
But the
Tell us how you
cajon,
really feel.
the cajon is much better suited for that idea.
I got you.
Yeah.
No, I like the djembe because I always just I stayed right around the rims and I fucked my fingers all up. Just that rim
yeah.
shit, dang, gang.
Right.
That noise. It's something about it. Anyways.
I mean, they're cool. They have like there's stuff you can do with them. I just
Right.
Can we please just not try to use it as a kick snare? That's annoying.
Right. It's not the same thing.
It's not your high school desk.
I know. Even sitting right here, like
You just wanna-
I almost can't not.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a sickness. And the drum talk.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. You guys probably play drums with your teeth all the time too, right?
Oh, dude.
teeth-
Yeah, yes. My dentist hates my guts. Stop grinding your teeth. I'm not grinding my teeth. I'm tapping out a beat.
Absolutely.
I do it all the time.
But yeah, so we played many shows
I'm in the middle of the solo.
where
you can actually hear that.
Best part
Let
of
me
the
turn that
song.
up
If
real
you
quick.
could just, yeah.
Gotta love it.
played a lot of things where Tim was playing drums, and that is a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
No.
But when Tim decided to pick up the guitar, and the two of us at the front all the time, and just sort of trying our best to support the song that the other person was playing, and harmonize the guitars. That's something else that I really like about playing music with another acoustic guitar player.
Right.
Is that we typically don't play the same parts. We'll play different parts, and sometimes he'll be capo to one place and I'll play open chords, or vice versa.
Right.
So the two acoustic guitars are always, to me anyway, that's one of the things that I really like. Just a personal love where two guitars are harmonizing with each other, and it just sounds big, and it's great. And
it does.
so-
And that is a good descriptor for your music. I've always, like I said, I think that's one of the things that grabbed me was the fact that it does sound big.
What was the other thing that grabbed you?
Tell us about the stuff that grabs you.
Well, he had a big white panel band.
Yeah, the thing that you're talking about, that's something we're
But
after.
the candy was free. So.
it was, and he had puppies. I never saw the puppies. No bueno.
So yeah, there's a different good vibe I feel like we try to create when Tim's got his guitar and he's playing one of his songs, and I love his songs, and when I'm playing and he's playing the parts with me, and it's just together and it's good, and people are typically very complimentary about that.
Right.
About the fact that we're brothers, we do play music together, and we do harmonize well.
Well,
Or at least we're shooting for that all the
yeah,
time, right?
you do good.
So that there's something, and I do my best to not bring it up, but it is special
Yeah.
to be able to do this with your
You
brother.
get to hang out with your bro all
right,
the time.
right, and that's very valuable. There are a lot of folks who they're in a band with people they like, but
a
they're friends. What,
He's such
did
a
I miss
dick.
the joke?
I don't know.
No.
He just started cracking
He's
up.
a real champ. Anyway, but yeah,
I mean,
He's having fun.
I like playing music with my brother.
Yeah,
it's
that's
good.
good.
Stuff.
That's
Yeah.
good. I think intimacy he has a problem with. Is that what it is, Tim?
Did you say animosity? Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's.
He's good with animosity.
yeah.
Oh, it's intimacy.
Yeah, yeah.
Intimacy.
When somebody says something nice, he's like, "Fuck, I don't know what you're talking about."
Something like that.
So you guys write your own, so when you sing a song, that's something you wrote, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
vice versa.
Up to this point, for sure, we haven't actually both contributed to the same
To one
thing.
cohesive song.
Yeah.
We want to do that.
Yeah.
And we've started a lot of stuff together, but we haven't actually finished something yet, and we haven't made time for that because we've been, trying to pull together a full band and
Right.
record these songs and get out there and play as much as we could and be in front of people. So that we haven't set aside time for, hey, these next 2 weeks we're gonna focus on writing, or even a day or two, right?
Right.
Everything's been focused
Well,
on other stuff.
I mean, we've tried to just meet for the purpose of songwriting or whatever. I mean, I'm a big fan actually of of those kinds of meetings where everybody bring a start or a piece that you can't finish, something.
Right.
And because you never know what's going to happen, and if you're looking at songwriting credits nowadays, most of the hit music or whatever has several people listed. You know,
Right.
there's not a lot of single songwriter stuff anymore. So I mean, I definitely believe in that, and I think that it's worth the effort, even if you don't immediately see the result.
Right.
But yeah, it's just kind of a little what are they called, a footnote to this point.
Right.
We don't have any songs that are both of us would be a songwriter credit.
I'd be interested to find out when you do.
But there's definitely the other person making irritating suggestions, and then you go well, yeah, that is probably a good idea, There's a
You
few
say
of those
irritating suggestions.
I mean, I think it's irritating.
Hmm.
I don't think anybody really loves it
Okay.
when somebody else is like, hey, you're working on your creative stuff there, but I got a tip for you. You know what I mean? Like, nobody loves that.
Right.
I think it's good when part of the problem is we are brothers, right?
Right.
And so many things can turn into a joke, or they can turn into a that sucked, and then you're like, okay, well, never mind.
We grew up pretty dysfunctional, so.
How so?
Well, I mean,
I know.
If you're a kid in the '80s, you get it,
Yeah.
But we're like
Latchkey kids.
Yeah, like latchkey kids. Nobody communicates. It's just like there's expectations.
Keep your feelings inside yourself.
And, there's
no talk about anything.
There's shouting matches and stuff like that, but there's no like real communication. But yeah, so that's how we grew up. So so now it's like, in every single conversation could immediately go off the rails.
Yeah.
It's actually you have to be kind of careful.
Yeah. I would say that it's easier to finish a song and then say, I want you to do this in this song, than it is to, hey, I've got this piece of a song, will you help me finish it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start doing whatever it is you do, and then it's I don't know how else to, it's kind of a joke, but yeah, I know you're being creative, but let me be creative about what you're creative about, and let me creative this better than you creative this. You know what I mean? And so I'll hear, and just as an example, there's this one song that Tim's been working on for a while now, and he hears it a certain way. He hasn't actually conveyed that to where I really get it yet. So
Right.
when he played it to me, I heard it one way, and so in my head I'm like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do with that. And he's like, I don't think that would really go with how it goes.
Not
And I'm
jiving.
like, wait, I don't understand, because the way I hear the way I think you're doing what you're doing is one thing, and it's definitely in his mind something different.
Right.
So that creeps up sometimes when we try to do something together. I don't know if you wanted to say anything else about that, but that's one of the issues. So if you bring a completed work, even if it's just chords, melody, and the lyrics,
Mm-hmm.
the other person doesn't have that opportunity to either out-create you
To pick it apart.
or to make it theirs or to anything else, right? And that might be partly because we're brothers. It might be partly because of what he was talking about there a minute ago, where just communication is sometimes more of a weapon, or it's a one-way river more than it is something where we're trying to understand each other and make
Right.
something better. So that definitely happens.
Did you guys fight when you were kids, like physically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Why-
not the
I'm
face,
just curious.
not the face.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Of course, you do. Nobody.
Are
touches
you
the face.
asking because your sisters beat you up?
Yes. They put makeup on me. It was bad. No, I only asked that because it's like this. This is the grown-up version of like fisticuffs with each other. Like y'all just like, okay, look, man, I wrote this.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the grown-up version is exceedingly vile. I mean,
It can get that way. It doesn't most of the time. Yeah. It's funny though. I do want to point because you
probably
said,
all the worst things I've ever said to a person, I said to my brother.
yeah, absolutely.
And just
He's
the other
just trying them out.
day, just the
See how
other
it
day.
feels.
So here, you'll like this. The other day, I was at work, and this customer comes in and buys some stuff, and then he basically says to me like, "Are you going to carry half of this out?" And I go, "You remind me of my brother." And he's like, "Oh, what does that mean?"
What does that mean?
Yeah, he's like,
Uh-huh.
and he had some joke too involved. And I was like, no, because literally he always complains that I don't carry stuff.
Oh.
Like, even though he's 6 inches taller than me and weighs probably 50 pounds more than me, he's cries when I don't.
Do you think I carry our musical gear for a workout?
Yeah.
You carry that because you need to lose the weight.
Because he's bigger, he has to carry more. Is that what you're trying to say?
I think so. Something
No,
like that. Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, and if you come to the show and you're like there early when we're setting up, you would see this happen.
I've been.
It's like when you put the speaker onto the stand every single time, he whines that I didn't do it. And so I was
Because you can't reach, Or
Well, he's got little dinosaur arms, so it's tough for him to
Right.
get.
little vestigial arms.
No, I mean, his complaint always seems to be centered around because it was heavy and, and somebody had to pick it up.
Right.
So like, oh, I'm doing the hard work. Well, so.
Dude, I used to carry my whole drum set in bags all at once. I would put my snare on the front, my cymbal bag on my back. It was like backpack. And then I took all the bass drum and the toms and my fucking everything else like this, and I just log it in there. And then the guys would go, "Hey, man, you need any help?" Man, fuck off. I'll be done while you're doing fucking sound check.
You needed a wagon.
I probably needed a wagon.
Yeah, that's the other thing is
That'd have been great.
I bought a wagon.
Yeah?
That wasn't a tough decision to make. But in the amount of time since I bought a wagon, I mean, it wasn't like yesterday.
I should buy a wagon too. It's time for me to buy a wagon.
For some reason, only one of us can afford a wagon all of a sudden. Like what? What's
you need a little radio flyer? Your little red wagon?
he
How
spends.
does this turn into this?
Oh,
Right,
you had to
exactly.
know it was going to turn into
Yeah.
this. You know Tim.
No, but so when I was talking to this guy the other day, like he was trying, at some point, I just told him like, yeah, my brother, he cries about me not lifting stuff, even though he's way bigger than me. And he's like, he goes, "Are you the older brother?" Like, nope. He's like, "Oh, so you don't respect him?" I'm like, "Respect him." Is that
What does
a
that
joke?
have to do with anything?
Yeah, like what? Are you being serious right now? No, so I
And
just told him
now
like,
on the Graybeard
I'm like,
podcast,
you don't
respect.
We can move the table and like you guys can
Do
just
you
go
ever-
at it.
Just the two of us.
Jiu-jitsu.
no, I mean, so I told this guy straight up, I was like, I'm not going to say something nice to my brother.
No?
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Why would I do that?
You don't ever compliment him?
I really try hard not to.
Do you compliment him?
Yes, all the time.
Aw.
It's annoying.
See, he's just a sweetie. He's a big old sweetie. He's a big old bear.
Yeah, I did want to say a second ago, you asked us if we fought physically, and the answer to that is actually yes, we did, even after
You kicked his ass?
we were like older than what you should have been doing,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And the last
out
time,
of high school.
yes, the last time we fought was the time he picked me up.
Oh.
That's a different feeling when you've been the one picking people up and throwing them,
And now
stuff.
you've been picked
and
up.
then you got picked up once. You're like, yeah, okay, we're good.
You just got juiced.
I'm done. It was funny.
Watch out. Old guns over there. Now, I remember when we were back in my day when I was playing in the old soiree. There is a YouTube video somewhere up on. Don't pull that up.
Of the Schwarra?
Yeah.
That's
It
all
was
I
a
can think
live.
about now.
It was a
See
live.
it now.
I
yeah,
want
it
to
was
see this video.
It was a
all I'm
live
watching on the way home.
performance. Like the thumbnail is like a VHS tape that says soiree on it. So if you pull it up, there's a bunch of shit that comes up. But that's the one that I'm in. When I left the band, they got a new drummer, and they got a couple of videos up there of that guy playing my beats, trying to play my beats. But no, it would just the way we would like write songs was weird. Like our singer Jason Braddock, he would like write. He would just have a notebook full of like poems and lyrics and shit. And then we would just have practice, and somebody would start playing either a riff, or I would start playing, a beat on the drums, and then it would just fold. Everybody would just kind of fold in, on each other, and then before we knew it, we're like, that's 8 measures we like that, and then we would kind of jam out. You just kind of jam, and then you pick.
Yeah.
Like spots. Oh, I really like that when we did this, and then we take and just meld them all together, and we're like, that's a fucking song, and that's kind of how we did our shit. But like every single one of our songs sounded different. Like we would have like an old Nirvana sounding song, and then we would play like a ska song, like a more reggae sounding song, and but it's always interesting to me to like find out what people's creative processes are. And it's kind of cool that you guys kind of do that. You just like, this is what I made this and I brought it to the table.
Yeah.
This is what I want you to do. Don't ad lib. This is what I want you to do.
Well, sometimes it's super specific like that, but sometimes it's just kind of like,
Just feel
this is
it
what
out.
I'm going to do. What are you going to do?
Right. And when he does the wrong thing, you correct him quickly.
You can make suggestions, sure, but that's a good point.
Right.
If it's so in the scenario you brought up, it's a bunch of friends putting together some music.
Mm-hmm.
When it's your brother, I don't know. I feel like he's going to do something that's going to add to what I've written.
Right.
You know, I feel like
you
he's
know
gonna,
his creative process. I mean,
yeah,
you know.
and so there are some things in my songs now that were not there until he started doing them.
Okay.
And I was like, absolutely, that belongs there. That should be. There's this there's a song, It's Been So Long. There's this piece where I go, there's a fire on the side of a ridge line, and he sings this, there's a fire. It belongs there. It should have always been there.
Yeah,
there should be a choir doing that kind of thing, right? But I didn't write that, you know. And there's a couple of other things like that. And so I think that's the stuff that happens
Organically.
And
it works.
Right. I don't know where it comes from or why it happens, but that's part of him being creative and doing what he does to add to this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that he would have as many examples of me doing that.
Oh, he won't
only
say.
Because, well, I would just say that only because he hasn't written as many songs as I have, and we haven't done that for as long, right? But yeah, I love that part of it.
Indeed.
Do you guys want to try and play one?
No.
Okay, cool.
But
Sure.
Look, I'm not going to push you, but if you feel like you want to see how it works out, I don't know how it's going to. I mean,
there's a good chance that it's more interesting than listen to us talk.
No, you guys are very interesting.
Interesting.
And I'm gonna dick around with the audio while you guys are doing that.
When you said
grab the
Rush,
guitar.
I was like, hell yeah. I was born in '97, and my dad put me on to Rush. Paul Simon, Dave Matthews, Tim Reynolds, all those guys. So yeah, I had a wide genre. Wilco, I don't know if you guys know Wilco.
I haven't listened to a lot of their music.
Yeah, but Wilco, at a young age.
Yeah, they command a lot of respect.
Great White, Dokken.
Oh,
sorry.
Here we go. Yeah, Rat.
Yeah.
Rat. Poison. Get all the good ones in there.
There you
That's
go.
right. Well, while they're doing that, I'm gonna mess with some sound real quick, and just hang out. We're gonna have some music playing, like live music. Oh yeah, I guess I need those. So go to number 1.
Chairs with arms. That's
Turn that off.
challenge.
All right. Nope. It's a little bit better, but it's still. We gotta turn that.
Yeah.
Turn the noise gate.
That one.
Yeah. Now do
Okay.
that to theirs too. Just click it and then with the. There you go.
All right. Test. Yeah. We're
Let's
way better
check
now.
that. Okay. There's no more popping.
Yep. All right. Cool.
There's a little bit of air conditioner noise in the background, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, we're gonna be good.
All right. You might. Let's listen and see how the guitars sound. Oh, nice and warm.
Yeah. If you want to point the head of it. No.
Are you trying to get that in your mouth or like no, wait, are you gonna sing in that mic or are you just gonna play in it? Oh, perfect. That sounds good.
I think that it's somewhere closer to this, but
Yeah, you can monitor yourselves and everything.
yeah.
While we're doing sound check, do y'all have like a date calendar or like something online that people can find your other than Instagram?
Facebook.
Facebook, you
I
put all
mean,
your stuff up there.
Well, we play usually just a few times a month, right? So we don't have like a heavy schedule.
Right.
So we usually announce shows individually.
You guys have been playing a lot though.
Here lately, yeah.
More like, well, I mean, it took a while, right? I mean,
Yeah.
this
It takes time.
When you talk about sort of the local music scene, what we're doing is something that doesn't really fit. You know, it's like it's hard to get gigs when we're going to play original music.
Right.
So like, and we're not going to apologize for that.
No, you shouldn't.
You know, so you know, like if a place is going to bring us in, you know, if they're gracious enough to hire us or whatever to invite us out,
Right.
you know, we're still going to play original songs. We also, like, you know, if it's public or whatever, we also do covers, of course.
Sometimes, just to appease the crowd.
Well, I mean, so like if we're going to do a 3-hour show, we're not going to play 3 hours of originals. So
Right.
it's like a 2-to-1.
Just kind of throw them in there.
Covers to originals. If we're
Makes
doing
sense.
like a 2-hour show, probably more like half and half. You know, so and you, like so at Jackrabbits, like you mentioned, usually you only get maybe a 40-minute set if you're going to play there. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, and I mean, maybe if you're the headliner, it'd be a little longer, but you know, it's not a big deal to play 40 minutes of original music at a place where people came on purpose to see you play.
Right.
But if you're at a bar, it just doesn't work as well. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take. So it hasn't been easy to get gigs lined up, but you know we're making more progress now. I think we thought that the Folio Weekly thing was going to help more,
Yeah.
and it might.
Hey, you guys came out on top.
Ultimately, it might. Yeah, we did actually win the
I was 4th in
Best of Jacks.
podcasting.
I know, and I voted for you every day. I mean, I was like,
I voted for myself too.
I thought you were going to win. Well, you have to vote for
Well, there's a
yourself.
new one. There's a Clay Today is doing theirs now.
Oh, okay.
But I did
all
not
right.
see a spot for podcasts.
Mm.
So
Well, you know, the Folio thing, they've been doing it for a long time. And I think at the little ceremony they did, they said there were 467 categories.
Wow.
yeah, it's too many.
Well, it's plenty.
It's a lot.
Well, and also, like, we wouldn't have won if there was just one band category.
Right,
But
right.
they had split cover bands.
That
and
was
then
good. That
original
was
music.
good. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad they did that.
So, you know, and our friends that won the best cover band category, they were voting for us too. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And I think like they even told their people, hey, vote for these guys. You know what I mean? So
Did you go to the number one spot party? They had like a.
yeah,
Did
that's
you?
that's what I'm
great.
saying. That they
I didn't get to go. They didn't have one for the 4th place winners. Thank you.
they gave a couple of statistics. You know, like the number of votes cast and everything.
They didn't have one for the
You know, if you're
That's so weird that they didn't.
if you're not first, you're last. So apparently, at least I'm not the first loser because that's second place.
Yeah, all this talk of inclusivity, what the fuck?
Oh man.
What do you think?
Hey,
Okay.
if we were gonna play a song,
Check
on,
one,
on
check.
a
Okay, that's
podcast,
good.
Which song would we play?
I had a couple in mind.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So now that I know what I know about you guys, that you, whenever the ones that you lead sing on, you wrote it, and then, you know, same with you. I'm going to try and get you guys to play like one of each.
Okay.
But like, Hand in Mine was like in my head. I think that's the name of it. Your Hand in Mine.
Your Hand in Mine.
Yeah. That one was like really, it was kicking. And I think he's been listening all day to your stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got him hooked
Poor
on
guy.
it. No, it's good. It's all good. When you guys get started though, I'm gonna flip this around so it'll pick up your audio as well.
Okay. You want us to do that one?
If you can, if you feel like you want to do that one.
I mean, if I can, it's always a good question.
Yeah, how you feeling about that?
Can you?
Are we tuned up? Because this shit's live. We don't want to fuck up.
I mean, realistically, I probably do make a fair amount of mistakes.
You ready? spot, and then we could sing those songs that make us feel alright. And I'll tell you that you're beautiful, like a summer rose, like a shooting star, and then we could talk about the way you make me feel inside. All these moments that we made, filled up with the colors from our days, like the green in the trees and the sunshine, red flowers and a white wine. The world's brighter every time you smile. All I want is your hand in mine. Baby, we could take a little drive with the windows down across the countryside, and then we could find a little shop that sells those things you like so much. We could find ourselves the perfect tree, sit beneath just you and me, and then we could talk all afternoon about love. All these moments that we made, filled up with the colors from our days, like the green in the trees and the sunshine, red flowers and a white wine. The world's brighter every time you smile. All I want is your hand in mine. Blue edges on the skyline, a brown basket full of the things you like, right song at the right time. All I want is your hand in mine. What I really want is to remember you in this golden light on this afternoon. 'Cause these colors will fade, but our love will grow. When you're by my side, that's all I need to know. Oh, oh. Green in the trees and the sunshine, red flowers and a white wine. The world's brighter every time you smile. All I want is your hand in mine. Blue edges on the skyline, a brown basket full of the things you like, right song at the right time. All I want is your hand in mine. Green in the trees and the sunshine, red flowers and white wine. The world's brighter every time you smile. All I want is your hand in mine. Blue edges on the skyline, a brown basket full of the things you like, right song at the right time. All I want is your hand in mine. All I want is your hand in mine.
That's fucking powerful.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much, sir.
That, yeah, dude. Like, I'm telling you, again, I'm not trying to stroke y'all, but I get goosebumps when y'all sing. That shit just chilling.
Thank you very much.
good.
Thanks for having us on.
Oh my God, thanks for doing that. That's the first time anybody's played live music on the show. I'm really excited. How did you feel it sounded, like audio wise?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make sure I get you that so you can put it out on a little EP or
Right.
Studio
As
version.
possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's something that I would like to do.
The GBP version.
Is like just acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to fashion your songs like for just acoustic? I mean, or does it just automatically translate?
That's just how I write them.
I think both. Yeah, I mean, because this is how it starts. So you can add stuff, you can kind of orchestrate it more.
Yeah.
And it should still work. If it works like this, then it should still scale up. But, yeah.
Cool. I like that. Oh, God. What is that other song that I fucking love so much? Damn it, man. I love Colorado, But I mean, what songs do you guys feel like? What's your favorite songs that you like to play? I know you got one.
I like all of these songs. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Galaxies. I'm a fan of Let's Fall in Love Again.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Let's Fall in Love Again.
Fuck yeah, that's like my
Great song,
all-time
right?
favorite.
Such a good song.
Yeah, that might work better. Like anytime you put the capo on, it messes with the intonation a little bit. So
Yeah. Hey, if you need to turn that mic so you can hear, so you guys can sing, I can. Like I said, I can point this kind of
Yeah,
center.
Tim, if you need to point it right into your guitar or into your face, that's cool too. I can adjust volume.
I'd rather be able to hear your mouth, because I can just do this.
you want to do some mouth listening?
I don't know what just happened, but please don't ever say mouth listening.
I feel like Jim said it first. We're doing Let's Fall in Love Again. Yeah, so I mean, whatever. I don't know what.
Poignant speech.
This is basically the first song that I wrote. Well, I mean, it's the first song that I had a complete song. You know, like verse, chorus, bridge kind of thing. It's not the first song that I tried to start working on.
Right.
But it's the first one that I finished and said, like, okay, this is how it is, and, you know, like it or don't. But, well, we're playing that song? Okay.
Sure.
We haven't, I don't know. Let's go back to that lake on that cool, clear autumn night. Holding hands for the first time, we'll follow the path far away from the city lights and escape in the starry sky. We don't need a word to say, 'cause our heartbeats tell everything. Let's fall in love again, just like we did back then. Smiling wide, can't hide the way we're feeling. Let's fall in love again, just like we did back then. Dancing slow, so close, I feel you breathing. In the middle of summertime, with hope growing like a begin that night. All these years I think we got it right. Let's fall in love again, just like we did back then. Smiling wide, can't hide the way we're feeling. Let's fall in love again, just like we did back then. Dancing slow, so close, I feel you breathing. Let's fall in love again. Yeah, I used to dream that I could find a girl like
let's fall in love again.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Thank you very much.
God damn it. Oh.
And that, I mean, that's probably our most country sounding song.
It does not sound country at all.
I
But I
think if
mean,
he
just-
sang
It
like,
sounded like a Chris Stapleton to
let's
me.
fall in love again.
Well, yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
put a
you
little twang on it.
I mean, if Keith Urban wants to just
Please,
license
sir.
it from me,
Yes.
great.
Jesus.
But, yeah.
I didn't realize how powerful that song was until you're playing right here in this room. Like, it's so. Dude, you guys just like. I don't know.
Sorry, headphones just don't do you guys justice. Like when I'm listening to you guys through a streaming platform, it's just way different.
Yeah.
Just like any other concert.
I'm
really.
hoping it
Yeah.
translated well through the stream.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
A lot of distortion.
No, I mean, I actually wanted to see if you wanted me to put some reverb on it because we can, but I can always do that afterwards.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think the high compression kind of thing works just fine for this format. Like,
Yeah.
you probably get a better result that way than trying
Yeah.
to put
It
effects
sounded
to it.
really good in here. You know, I mean, honestly, I mean, it's a sound treated room, so I mean, there's not a lot of echo and
It's a
shit.
good,
But
I mean, it works pretty good. I think, honestly, like,
yeah,
well, although I'm hearing the headphones, not
Yeah.
Right.
well, I mean, if you're hearing what you hear in the headphones is how it's going to sound. So.
You're gonna have to convert this into a music podcast.
I'm telling you.
Music.
Yeah, I mean, we could send you a stream of people.
Hey, listen, I'm all down for talking to musicians. I just love like artists of any kind, and there's art in everything. I mean, you know, business owners. There's an art to running a business. You know what I mean? There's art in everything that people do. They just don't. A lot of times, people don't really see it.
Right.
And, you know, I like to point that shit out to people. You know, like, hey, did you know? And when I ask them to come on the show, they're like, you know, why? And I'm like, well, because what you do is art. You know,
Right.
and to me, I've always been into art, whether it be music or photography or painting. You know, any of it. You know,
Right.
it's all. I love it, and I don't know what my life would be like without it. I mean, I think that music in general, you know, speaking about music because you're here, but I think that people have like soundtracks to their lives.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like with every new band you find, it's like you click and identify with something that they're saying or some emotion that they're conveying in their music.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not really a lovey-dovey kind of guy. You know, I'm just really not. But like,
But you're so sexy.
That's how I think of
you
you.
shut the fuck up.
Lovey-dovey. You remember
I mean,
Jim?
I
Lovey-dovey.
love deeply. Like the people that I love
Sure.
deeply. But like, you know, the whole like romantic shit has kind of gone out the window. But that song that you just sang, it makes me want to like fucking fall in love again. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you feel it. You guys convey that emotion like extremely well.
Thank you. I love that song. You know, when he first played it for me, I was like, he hadn't played anything else before that he had written, and so when he played that as his first song, it was kind of a kick in the, you know,
It's Tim.
It was one of those things you kind of wanted to turn to a friend and be like, Did you just hear what you just did? Like, it's like someone just walking up and dunking a basketball, you know, for the
Yeah.
first time. You're like, I didn't even know that you played basketball.
Right. How the hell did you learn to do that?
Right. So I have no doubt that there are other just fantastic songs in there waiting to make their way out to the top, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to that too.
So you have your album is Taller Weeds, right?
Yeah.
Is that
We
most
have
recent.
There's 11 songs that are published right now.
and they're all published as singles or
Two EPs and a single.
Okay.
Is how it's out there.
okay.
Yeah.
There's an EP that we released a couple of years ago called Trails of Light.
Okay.
Let's Fall in Love Again is on Trails of Light.
Right.
And the other one that we played earlier is also on Trails of Light. And then just August 23, we put out Taller Weeds. and that has
I think I was there.
You were there. It was wonderful. Yeah. And we're so thankful that a bunch of our friends and family came out to celebrate that with us, because that was a long time coming as well. And
it was July.
Was it? What's the difference? It's a month.
Those songs had been finished for like a year, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
I mean,
we're
honestly, all the 11 songs that are, the Sparks in the Garden songs that are public, it could have been one record.
Yeah.
It was already, it's just like, the cost of doing things on a bigger scale is prohibitive, so like taking it in chunks works better, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also like the way the music industry behaves right now, like
how does it?
There's a lot less records and a lot more singles.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's just what we have. I mean, it's what we have, and I think we're proud of it, and we like it.
Should be.
But I think it would have been great to like actually put out other stuff first, and then put out these songs later.
Yeah,
because they're like more like our favorites,
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have favorites, and then when you go to write now, I mean, you put out the EPs and the singles, and then Taller Weeds, but like, are you guys gonna ever just make like a cohesive, like just another album, like a whole album, like 11 or 12 songs or whatever it is?
I mean, we could go to the studio tomorrow probably and do one.
Really?
Well,
Sure.
this part of the thing is like
You're constantly writing.
no, but we just already have
I already have a lot of songs.
these other songs that the reason why we haven't published them is because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. No, that was the next question I was going to ask you guys. Like, as far as like studios go, like, where are you going for a studio? I mean, you can give them a shout out if you felt like it. You might get a discount on the next.
We feel very fortunate too. We've been friends with. Did you want to say something else?
Well, I was just going to say, but that's another thing about the situation with the music scene in Jacksonville right now. There's a bunch of good producers. I don't know them all, but I've met a couple of these guys, and we've heard our other friends do projects with these other guys, and it's all top quality stuff. I mean, honestly, there's so much good stuff just in Jacksonville. But the stuff that we have out was all mixed, and the producer that we worked with is Lou Rubino.
Okay.
He's
in
down
St.
in
Augustine.
St. Augustine, and we've known him a long time. He's just a fantastic, out of this world musician.
Right.
Guitar, bass, piano. He does a lot of that. He's got a fantastic, silky smooth voice. Love the way he sings. He's just fantastic all around.
It's actually,
he's got a lot of music out there as Lou Rubino.
like on
Like
our
music.
well, I mean, he has a pretty significant pedigree. I mean,
Yes.
in terms of like a resume
Yeah.
compared to what somebody like us has, but he's just incredibly talented. He's one of those people, like, all the stuff that you're trying to do, he can do it better.
He knows how to do it.
And
he knows how to accomplish what you're
and
like.
he
Bring
can-
your vision to life.
He plays a bunch of different instruments, and it's actually like on the song Colorado. Like when you listen to that track, the background vocals is him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I didn't go back and do those later.
And double down.
Yeah. So I mean, people like that are really beneficial to work with for people like us, because I can't just keep paying for day after day of studio time. So
You're
it's
gonna
like
kind of get it all done in one chunk.
the faster the better.
Sure.
And then and then he can just kind of fill in the gaps. Whatever we didn't.
So do y'all bring the full band when you go to the studio, or do you just play like you play your parts and then you go play the drums? And
It's definitely a tricky dynamic because in my mind I'm still the drummer.
yeah.
So like the drum track on Colorado, I play that. We use like an electric drum kit just to get the inputs, and then you tinker with it later. But,
Oh, okay.
yeah, but so no, we don't. We don't.
So
We don't
that's a
bring
good-
everybody to the studio. I mean, there could be a time for that
Probably be
somewhere
a
down the
hassle.
road, but I think you have to be like financially, you have to be on a different category than what we're doing. Like we're doing
Right.
everything like basic.
It's not cheap.
It's not shoestring budget. There is no budget.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like tell your wife, hey, Remember
We're
that?
taking out a second mortgage.
Remember that tax return we got? Yeah,
Yeah, it's not ours anymore.
But
It belongs to Lou Ravino.
Don't make any plans for the tax return. 'Cause
But
it's already
so there's us, what you heard a moment ago, and you were so kind and so complimentary about Let's Fall in Love Again, 2 acoustic guitars, 2 vocals, and then you listen to the produced version of that song on Trails of Light.
Right.
It's incredible, right? And so all of that gap, or a lot of that gap, is a great producer who's able to add pieces here and there and make
Right.
guitars sound make vocals sound a certain way. I'm a huge fan of what Lou created for the background vocals on Let's Fall in Love Again. The
Maybe I need to have
choruses.
him in
well,
here.
like the
He's
that would be fun.
he's
He can help
amazing.
me with my soundboard. Get my
Probably.
shit right.
Probably
But yeah, he's fantastic, and we couldn't say enough
like the
good.
the
about him.
violins thing. That was his idea.
Yeah.
So it's really beneficial to have somebody who.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's a lot of skills and experience and ideas,
Right.
and so. But like I said, I mean, he's not the only one at this point. There's a bunch of these dudes around the Jacksonville area.
Sure.
The stuff that they're putting out is
Top notch.
really like I mean, it's as good as industry stuff.
Yeah.
Like you don't. There's no like on your playlist. You're not going to notice a gap. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like it's another.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't know if I'm that creative. Like being able to fill in the gaps where needed.
Yeah.
I mean, like live recording, sure, we'll do that all day long. But yeah, no, that's really cool. So he's out in St. Augustine.
Yes, he has his studio is called Fish Tank Recording Studios. And
Shout out.
Yes, absolutely. If you want to make something sound great, go to Lou because he can do it. And I think that some of the productions of these songs, they're just way better than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing to be able to say.
Yeah, I know. Soiree, we put out a 8-song album or whatever, EP, whatever the fuck you call it. But we made a CD. Was it 12? It might have been 12 songs. I can't remember what it was. But we spent a full year in a studio. It was a brand new studio. It was our friend Brian that used to do this. He used to be the sound guy at Jackrabbits. God rest his soul. I'm pretty sure I think he passed on.
It'd be weird if he hadn't. Though.
I know, right? He'd be like, motherfucker, I'm still. No, I'm fairly certain he did. But you fall out of touch with these people. When I got married, I stopped playing in the band and all that
Sure.
shit. Which is cool that you guys, you're both married. Yes.
I am.
Okay.
Tim's married. I'm not married, but I've been in a relationship.
But you've been in a
for really
relationship.
long time,
So you're both with somebody. You have significant others, and they kind of give you the space to do this. Because I know it's not easy all the time, I'm sure. All the practicing, all the gigging and recording and
Yeah, I mean,
signing
I think,
autographs and titties.
I think for the, and that's pretty much all I do from 8 to 12
Sign
every
titties?
day. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
weekdays only.
And
but,
babies' foreheads.
Yeah, we get some of those. But
Sign my toddler. I'm going to have
Oh,
it
boy.
tattooed on there.
Oh boy.
It'll happen
what was
one
I
day.
saying?
I don't know. I
It
Something-
wasn't
I lost
something.
talking
about
it wasn't
the-
something important. but
that your significant
supportive
others.
significant others. Yes.
Oh,
give you the
yeah, I was
space.
saying, like, I mean, I think over the long term, like, if the relationship has any merit, like, you have to start doing your own thing. You
Absolutely.
can't just do the us together thing. I mean, there is that much content on Netflix that you could never do anything else if you
Right.
want to.
100%.
But
Netflix, Hulu.
But I mean, if like, the relationship really needs to breathe. So, like,
She wants you gone sometimes.
well, I would guess most of the time, but no, but
I think that's fair.
no, but
That's
it's
fair.
like
Dogging her
you have to do your stuff. I mean,
You need to have your own shit.
That's the other thing, it's like any of us. It's not like a pipe dream, like
Yeah.
we're gonna be famous. It's not like that at all. It's I think what we're doing is more like what you do, where like this is the art, this is the medium that I love,
Right.
and so like I basically can't take a break from it.
Right.
Whether
Whether it's a and measure success however you want to, but like whether like for me, as far as I'm concerned, like with the podcast, if there's, I don't have 20 million viewers. You know what I mean?
Wait, what?
No, I'm sorry, guys. You drove an hour.
Why
to get
are
here.
we here?
I know, Jesus,
I
I'm
thought
so
20
sorry.
million.
No, yeah, unfortunately not. But it's growing, and that's nice. But I don't do it for that. I do it because I'm a geek. Okay, I like all this tech gear and shit. B, I like to sit down with cool people and have conversations, and I get to record it and stream it out, and it's fun for me, and that's honestly, that's the biggest thing for me. And I imagine, to what you were saying, I imagine it's not an option. It's not even an option of whether I'm going to record this weekend or every Wednesday or not. Like I think Valentine's Day was the first time we took off that week, and I'm like, go be with your sweetheart.
Yeah, since Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's your, I always used to take offense to the word hobby, and maybe that is the correct,
verbiage
description or whatever. But, I think it's way more important than that. Like for me, a hobby is something that I waste money on.
Right.
But music is something that I just can't stop. Like
it's part of you.
It's like who you are, right?
It is.
It's more like an identity, and that could be dangerous too. But I mean, I think it's, we're gonna keep making music one way or the other. So at some point, might as well also the performing and meeting other performers.
Right. Go all in.
Makes it a lot more fun and interesting. Sure. The connections. And it's weird how, like, these people are, I consider them my friends.
Yeah.
But we might not actually know each other at all.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
you love their music and you love what they do.
We'll show up at the whatever, at an open mic or something, or at the bar or whatever, and yeah, I mean, we have a legitimate connection, but like, when they have some kind of trouble at home, they're not texting me. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like we don't have like that kind of relationship, but these are my friends.
Sure.
Like so
you found your people. I mean, I think
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's who you are. So do it.
Right. And when you I believe firmly that when you fall in love with something, with that art or whatever, and you do it, and you put 100% effort into it, you're going to attract people that are similar, and you're going to basically surround yourself with a, for a lack of a better term, a tribe. It's very cliche to say that, but we are fucking tribal as a human being, as a human race.
But there is a type of gravity.
Yeah, 100%.
That's based on talent.
Yes.
And it's I don't know how you really, if it's even worth your time to try to comprehend how that works. But I mean,
please do.
No, clearly I don't know. But
wax intellectual, Tim.
But it's just one of those things, where like if something great is happening with one person,
right,
it's gonna slowly accumulate the rest of the atmosphere around it.
Right. If one can eat, we can all eat. Right.
I never heard that one before, but I like it.
Yeah. If I'm eating,
like
you're going to eat too. Like,
so
except for the cabbage and sausage.
I'm still waiting on my helping of cabbage and
sausage.
if
you want it, I'll hook you up before you leave. I was trying to choke some shit down before.
What kind of sausage are
I
we
gave
talking
you coffee.
It's like a nice kielbasa?
Yeah.
See, he was just going to give you the sausage part.
That's right.
I could do the sauce.
I pretty much ate all the sausage out. I was greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can keep the cabbage for me. I don't really. Want that.
You just want the sausage.
It makes for interesting late nights. Sitting on the couch with your significant
Hold the
other.
cabbage. Just give me the sausage.
Aye, aye, El Capitan.
I want to get a T-shirt made that says "Give me the sausage," and just only make one in his size, and
or give me the sausage, hold the cabbage, and then make him wear a shirt that says cabbage.
I feel like we don't have enough fun with T-shirts.
It's true.
Although clearly you're having a party over there with the Falcor.
Oh, by the way, Falcor brought to you by CD's Crafty Creations. Check them out on Instagram.
Is that so? Somebody just made that for you, just like.
Yep. She makes. She made my shirts all of my, like the podcast shirts that I had. I've given them all out, guys. I'm sorry. I've got to get a new batch.
We hear that on every podcast we go to.
Right.
Sorry, we're gonna give you a T-shirt, but
I was
get them
gonna,
all out.
I was gonna give
I
you a
might have
T-shirt
like a beer
too, but now I'm
koozie.
not.
Yeah.
I might have a beer koozie
Every
somewhere.
podcast.
This is my first podcast.
Well, if you'd
We're
like,
just- we're
I
just
mean, if
asking.
you want, I can get
Yes.
you.
Isn't that
Do it.
fantastic that you can do that now?
Do it.
No, I already promised this to Jen.
Oh.
So she said she's gonna make hers, and then we're gonna exchange them.
That's cool.
If you don't know, I do another podcast.
Is that in his?
Here.
Hold on. In his hand, is that the vape pen?
No,
I
it's
do-
there's headphones and a microphone. No, but I do another podcast.
Another podcast
called-
about podcasting.
It's called Beauty and the Beard. It's with a young lady named Jennifer Janeo. She does her own podcast, generally speaking, with a J. I had her on one time, and then she was like, "We should do this every fucking month." I was like, "Let's do it," and then we just decided this is a thing. So
cool.
we have our own Instagram page and YouTube channel and stuff like that. So
What's the generally speaking? Is that what it is?
well,
Or
that's
what's the
her podcast, but the podcast that we do is called Beauty and the Beard.
Beauty and the Beard. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the beauty. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, let me turn that one up. There we go.
She'll get a kick out of
I
that.
feel like you need more sound effects over there because,
Yeah. He's got
Yeah,
the
I know, I got
rim
like the,
shots.
especially with our brand of
Applause.
humor, yeah, the
Well,
crickets.
Where's the crickets been this whole
There
time?
should also be like the
There's a wah 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 in there.
the
somewhere.
audience. See what I mean? Like
Oh, we already got that one. Hold on.
appropriate.
Yeah.
This is all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's from Halloween.
Also
I dumped a
sound-
bunch of sound
Yeah.
effects in there from Halloween.
But you need the one that's like the whole audience groans at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I could probably get that.
we're trying to get him to do the old Owen Wilson. Wow.
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 Yeah, no, I can definitely do that for sure. It's fun to have those, but sometimes it gets a little out of hand.
Yeah, I have to dial it in.
No, he's actually better with it than I am because when I was, believe it or not, before he agreed to come on and do this with me and help me out and sit in that chair and do all that shit, I had it all sitting here.
You're trying to do all that.
And I did all of it.
Brutal.
I was like changing the cameras, making sure the audio was good. So
Half of his brain was going towards this.
I
the
couldn't
other half
have an
was,
actual conversation with people. It was a pain in the dick.
Sure.
So I was like, "Hey, you're married to my kid. Come over here and help me, bitch." No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
No,
for
I-
real?
I love podcasts.
This is
This is
like
my son-in-law.
son-in-law
Mhm.
action. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say action. Okay, that sounds like a porn.
We're not fucking
Son-in-law
going there. We're not
action.
fucking going
Hot.
I guess I'm not.
They already have like mother-in-law porn.
I
don't
don't
know if
want-
they had like a father-in-law.
I'm
porn.
aware that there's like every kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you think of it,
But-
it's out there for sure. Who the fuck is calling me at this hour?
8:30.
They got the boot.
At
Is what
this
they
hour?
got. I don't look.
Is that
8:30
late?
is my bedtime normally.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but I'm off tomorrow, so I'll stay up till 9.
Oh wait, wrong one.
Oh, so he has a real job. I understand now.
Yeah, no, I do have a job. I wish that this was all I did. If I did, then I would be doing this 7 days a week.
Sure.
I would have and multiple times a day.
Mm.
Kind of like my masturbatory schedule.
Maybe it's
You have a schedule?
No,
That's-
it's just as long as I get one or
I
two
mean,
in
it's
a day.
keep it organized. You
You
know
know,
what I'm saying?
Do it on days that end in Y.
Yeah, the guys that did my shower, bless them.
I mean, dude, this.
Shout out HD Home Repairs.
Yeah,
I don't know if they would want people.
No, those dudes legit. I don't know how much they're charging you. I'm guessing it's a lot, but
They
it
did a
looks
good job.
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like
You didn't see it before, but yeah, they did a fantastic job, for sure.
Why were you looking at the drain in his bathroom?
No, it wasn't.
It's full
Oh,
of
you meant the
jizz.
kitchen.
You may not be aware,
But also
but the kitchen is brand new.
Yeah.
It's like only a
I
few
saw
weeks
it. It
old.
was
the
nice,
kitchen
yeah.
and both the bath.
Really
And
nice.
honestly, what is a house? It's a kitchen and bathrooms, and then the bedrooms get what? Floors and paint. What they do. But the hardest part is the kitchen and the bathrooms. It will sell the home.
Sure.
So that's basically what I focused on. I did the floors.
So that's why there's a disco ball in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And a sex swing.
Resale value.
Yes.
I didn't say sex
No,
swing.
that folds out.
That was your son-in-law talking
Yeah.
about sex
Yeah.
swings over there.
Well, he installed it. So
He's like,
this is the point in the show where we get off the rails, and
Yeah,
it's
we're
totally
going.
okay. We're all good with it. We're gonna just let it roll.
he's over here like, What? You don't have a dungeon?
Yeah. If I had room, I would have a dungeon. Trust me. It would be fun. Charge people admission.
This would make a nice dungeon.
I mean, it kind of is a dungeon, but
you got lots of space.
it's not done. I do plan on getting the door off of there and the rails out, and actually putting walls up.
Well, I think you're going to need rails though in order to hang the swing.
Yeah, probably. Well, there's just as long as you tie into a stud.
Well,
hey-o.
stud can mean more than one thing.
That is true.
Good.
That is true.
Excellent.
Absolutely. So, So you guys are playing. You've recorded all this music. You've put it all out, and you gig out twice a week, maybe, sometimes more.
I think it's like 3 times a month.
Three times a month.
Like 3 or 4 times a month is kind of
Okay.
what we can. I mean,
as far as time wise, that's what you can handle.
time wise, and I mean, there's everything.
There's a limit.
We have limitations.
Yeah. Well, at our age,
I think a lot of musicians don't have much limitations.
Right.
I mean, I know people that literally gig 5 days a week.
it is difficult being an adult and having mortgages and shit that you have to pay for, car payments and children and this and that you have to take care of, and all those things. And you can't just quit your fucking job and travel, get in a van and just leave.
Honestly, when you put it, for me, and everybody's different, but for me, when you put it in terms of actually having a family, like kids, wife, and stuff like that, even one gig per week is actually too much.
Right.
I mean, twice a month is probably comfortable, but we've been trying to get out more, for the obvious reasons, to kind of get in front of more people. And
right. Well, that's what this is about. That's why you're here, because it goes out live and it stays on YouTube forever. So people are gonna watch this.
Are they?
They will. Absolutely. No. Now I don't know if anybody tuned in live. I mean, usually they'll shout, they'll say something, whatever. But but I get a lot more on the back end. A couple of days later, I get
I feel that.
Yeah. Fill up my back end, daddy.
Wow.
This
It goes to that quickly, doesn't it?
It really does.
Is that every week?
Yeah.
You listen to this?
No, you guys.
It's after 8:30, so
Yeah, you guys really bring it out of me.
I think that's fair.
No, we like to have fun.
Yes.
It's all good fun.
Yeah, but to the point, could we do this more? Yeah, I think absolutely we could do this more, and the work of reaching out to the right people at the right time for the right gig, that's part of the art and of where we're at. When you're a huge touring musician and what have you,
right?
You set a tour together. It's its own business, and you command 18,000 seats no matter where you go.
Right.
But that's not. We're not anywhere close to that, and so we try to
You don't think?
play quality. I would love to do that, but we try to play the best shows we can for the best audience we can, and that there are a couple of places around town who've just been really kind to us, and we're really thankful for that.
Yeah, so maybe we should so this Friday we're at Stout Snug in Murray Hill.
Absolutely, yeah. Plug your tour dates.
8:30 to 11:30, and it's you've been there. It's a good place.
It's a cute place.
Good,
it's
good food.
Yeah.
Full bar. They got an ice cream shop next door.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
I mean, and they're really sweet people. They always take care of us.
Yeah, and it's right in Riverside. I mean, I guess it's Murray Hill,
yeah.
but it's close enough to Riverside. I mean,
Riverside, Murray Hill. You can kind of.
I wasn't going to
lump them together. Yeah, they're not far enough apart.
Is it like the Greasers and the Socias?
I think if you lived in Ortega and somebody said, "Oh yeah, Stout Snug, it's close to Ortega," they'd be like, "No, it isn't."
Okay.
Because they don't want to.
Are they snooty over there? I mean,
aren't we all though?
I think everybody is about their neighborhood.
So?
Probably.
No, I don't care.
No,
it's that tribalism.
I mean, other than I don't like Riverside, but I mean, all the people that I love are in Riverside, so I have to go there.
Tim, where are we going tonight? Like it. We're going to go over to Jim's house. It's close to Mandarin.
Yeah. Is that what he told you?
He didn't tell me that, but if somebody said you would probably be quick to correct.
I didn't realize.
I grew up in Mandarin,
that's
so
not really close.
I didn't realize how far it was until I got in the car, and I was like, "Oh, this is a problem."
This is a problem. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe changing the day of to like a Saturday. But then y'all wouldn't probably be able to come because you probably do your gigs on Saturdays, right?
It depends.
It depends. I think it just depends.
I think we do a lot more Fridays than Saturdays, but
yeah.
yeah. We're doing a festival next month in
Really?
in DeLand. Yeah, this is the festival thing is something that I feel like that's probably like the thing we really want to do.
Yeah. Well, I
But,
mean, it'll definitely put you in front of a lot more eyes and ears.
Sure.
Yeah. So
We'll also
DeLandapalooza on April 13th.
DeLandapalooza.
I don't believe I've ever been to DeLand.
No?
Uh-uh.
Well,
You've never eaten at DeLeon Springs, the state
I'll
park
send
there?
you.
No.
Oh, you need to check that out.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
this-
you've never been to the old Spanish sugar mill?
It's sort of a kitschy thing.
Dude,
and
we
so
gotta go.
yeah, we got to go. That would be a great motorcycle ride for you. Go
Oh,
down
yeah,
in the
for real.
morning. So what
because
it
you
is,
can't go there straight off the interstate. You gotta
you
get
wanna-
on the back roads.
You want to
Yeah.
get on the back of the bike? And
You want me to ride bitch with you to the pancake
Yeah.
shop?
Nuts to butts, baby.
Definitely.
so right, the DeLeon Springs is a great spring, super clear, super nice, and you can swim there and play around. But on the spring is this restaurant called the Old Spanish Sugar Mill, and all of the tables have griddles in the middle of them, and you order different kinds of batter and stuff to put in your eggs. And
Yeah, you make your own pancakes.
I'm sorry,
you just cook
pancakes.
it right there?
You cook your own pancakes and
Well, you cook your
chocolate
own
chips
eggs
and
too, but,
blueberry.
Do they like give you a little bit for the first one and then give you your real portion because the first pancake's always fucked up?
They give you a pitcher,
It's like a pitcher of batter.
and yes,
you,
that
okay.
still happens. But
Yes.
you have a pitcher, so you can just.
It's the weirdest thing, dude. Like when I'm
Yeah.
making pancakes, it does not matter.
The first pancake just
always gets fucked.
refuses to cooperate.
Those are my pancakes because I'm not going to feed them to my kids or anybody else.
So I've also heard that there's a something you can do specifically to the batter to make it a little thicker, and they'll stand up a little better.
Add an egg,
Is it an egg, an extra egg?
probably just a
Thick
egg and egg.
batter.
Yeah.
Or some heavy whipping cream.
Why did I do this? I pretty much asked for this. Yeah, but the Old Spanish Sugar Mill, DeLeon Springs.
Need
check
that
it out.
thick batter.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
We're
these
also
are
playing at Foxtail March 23rd.
protein
3 to
pancakes.
5. That should be
Yeah,
fun.
that's Foxtail. Where's that?
It's in San Marco, little coffee shop right there.
So Riverside. Oh.
Right next door. It's right next to the beaches. If you could, yeah.
I wish
mean,
that
if you look at maps now, I think it might actually say South Riverside or
That's
something.
crazy.
Something
What?
mental. Yeah.
that's insane. Jacksonville is huge. I mean, and everything is like at least 30 minutes to get there, or if not more.
right.
I mean, everybody that comes here is like, hey, it's a fucking hour to get here, or 45 minutes. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I'm sorry. you
Well,
know?
in normal traffic, it would only be like 40 minutes from me, I think. But today it was more like an hour and
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, and at the time that you were, well, just like I said, this side of town, everything's all fucked up right now, but traffic sucks. Don't ever go down Blanding if that's where it took you. At any rate. So what is the future of Sparks in the Garden? Like, what do we see? Are we looking that far ahead, or are we just having fun?
I think it was the great Charlie Sheen
Oh, Jesus.
who once said,
That he's a,
total victory.
That's some good coke. I think that's what he said.
Winning. Duh.
Winning.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag winning.
Oh, that reminds me. You see, I know you've seen the bowling guy.
The bowling guy.
He like wins the competition and he's into it. Who are you?
Oh yeah.
Who do you
yeah.
think you are?
am.
That
Oh.
just
the best.
yeah,
I don't believe
that's
I've seen that.
so good. You
I
gotta
don't
watch
watch
that one.
bowling.
Well,
No one.
No one
well,
does.
that's not true. A lot of people do.
Neither do we.
But-
However,
Yeah.
that clip is priceless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how you've gotten this far without seeing that clip.
Who do you
'cause
think you are? I am.
That's like years old now.
It's just so amazing.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. I've seen
So
it.
intense.
Jesus.
It was a good strike.
Maybe
It's
send
funny.
it to me later. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
When you're sending me sweet pillow talk,
Oh, funny.
nothings.
Mm.
So you were saying before we so rudely
I mean, I
interrupted
don't. In terms of like future, I mean, we're basically my take on it is we're always going to keep doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sparks in the Garden is a real thing, and it always will be. So, however far we can take it is
Yeah.
fine. We don't have any particular goals to get a record deal or blah blah blah.
Do people even do record deals anymore?
Yeah, but it's I mean, generally speaking, it's usually a really bad deal.
Like a 360 deal or some bullshit. That's the kind of deal I keep hearing about. Like Britney Spears had, like, just
I mean,
TLC had that.
The way I understand it nowadays, if these companies are only about profit, so if they're offering you a deal, it's usually because you're already a profitable entity.
Right.
They probably can scale it up another notch, but most of the time it's a bad deal for the artist.
Right.
So I mean, but anyway, that's just one example. Like we obviously we want to find a bigger audience,
right,
for the music that we believe in. Because we think it's worth it. But there's no specific goals other than just to be out more and like, so we have a full band that we've been working with for a little, like, months.
Yeah.
Many months
now. It hasn't been a year yet, but the full band thing is a totally different thing than the 2 acoustic guitars thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to do that more. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So we're still scaling it up, and I don't really know how far that will go, but it seems like probably if you really get some traction, then it'll blow up a little bit on you,
right?
And then you have to scale it back. I mean, it's a hard balance.
Yeah, there's probably a fine line for sure as far as like time wise, what you can do and what you can't do. That was my biggest thing with the band. That's why I ended up quitting. The guys were, I was just having fun. I loved, but having fun. We practiced 2 nights a week, and we would gig out on the weekends. And we would either play here in Jacksonville or we play in Gainesville. We did a 3-day tour one time, which was pretty fun, but it was like shitholes. The Atari Info Shop, which was basically a book shop. Where the fuck was that? Sarasota. Anyways, but yeah, it just like places like that. But it was fun. I was having a good time, you know. But when I got married, it was just like, okay, we're gonna go to 1 practice a week, and every like you guys, like once or twice a month we'll play out. And then the guys were like, hey, we got a minor label in DC that wants to sign us, and I'm like, you guys do know what minor labels are, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, they don't pay for shit.
Right.
They're like, somebody sets up your tour. You have to provide a van or some form of, transportation. You have to provide your own merch. You have to provide basically everything, I think they'll pay for some studio time, maybe, if you're lucky. But they just put their name on your shit, and they own part of it. And basically, they just send you around, and you go around and you do the tour that they put you on.
Right.
And whatever money you make in merch sales, that's what you eat in lodging and gas. And then, so basically, you would do that for however many, a month, 2 months, whatever. They wanted us to go out for like 3 or 4 months. I'm like, dude, I got kids. And I would come home, and there would be no home to come home to.
Right.
Yeah. But
yeah, so I mean, I think the state of affairs is pretty similar now, except that with cost, like inflation.
Yeah.
A lot of bands, like touring bands, but small time, they're being priced out where they can't even afford to go.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, that's like I said, we're we haven't been to Gainesville yet.
Yeah.
We can, we could do some weekend stuff.
They love, like, they don't like cover bands. They want all originals and shit like that. A lot of those places. So I think you do really well there.
To whatever, you could say there's not like a master plan for the next 2 years. For sure, we want to continue to play more in front of people, and different audiences. We've been to St. Augustine a couple of times to try to get in front of some folks down there.
Right.
And we want to play even more in Jacksonville. There's still a lot of people in Jacksonville who've never even heard of us, right?
Yeah.
And so
that would be most people.
And that's part of what I try to tell Tim sometimes is that nobody, not nobody, but hardly anyone has even heard of us.
Yeah.
Hardly any of those people have ever heard any of our music. And so it's a matter of us doing as much as we can to get in front of those people. You can do the things that that some other artists do, where you pay for Facebook and Instagram ads to get yourself in front of new audiences and things like that. We've done that a couple of times.
Don't do that.
I don't know that it's garnered a lot for us, frankly.
Because you mentioned this the other day. I mean, in the reality, advertising is all paid.
Well, that's true, but what I
so,
mentioned the other day, what I was talking about specifically, were people that with these agencies, that like want to like, hey, do you want your whatever, and like I actually posted a picture of like a screenshot from somebody that actually did that, and they're like, we can get you 10,000 likes and we can get you 10,000 followers or whatever,
all that stuff.
Bitch, I'm not paying for that. Sorry.
Right. Well, most of it's a scam. Just fundamentally the whole idea of we can get you this number of blah blah. I mean,
right.
So could we. We could tinker around.
I've boosted posts.
Start making fake accounts.
Oh yeah.
And turn loose a bot that will make fake accounts. I mean, everybody can make fake stuff. So that's not what you want to do.
No.
But but just in terms of, I mean, I know a lot of bands literally have like a marketing budget.
Yeah.
Because they know that they need to boost their like every post, every show announcement, and not like a lot of money, but $20, you know what I mean? Like it's to circulate it, to get it in front, because when you go on either Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you only see so many things before you switch off of it. So, like a typical post of ours would only be seen by like 112 people or so.
Okay.
So
but when you boost
we have 430 followers on Instagram right now, which is, that's not like a number that you brag about.
That's pretty good odds if 112 people or 120 people are watching.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like
but
a fourth.
Out of 400, you're only talking about maybe 25% that would natively be aware of what it was that you posted.
Right.
So if you really want to get the word out, you're going to have to spend money. There's no...
I agree and I disagree. I've boosted posts. I've done like a lot of I do like these split testing things, where I'll try something, and then like somebody that says this is the way to go, I'll try it for a little while, and then I'll give it a fair shake. Like I'll really go into it, and then they'll be like, okay, you got to do this, like as far as like algorithmic and things like that. And I have found that just posting more. At least, even if it's just 2 times a day, even if it's like I posted a thing from, a little video from, a song clip or whatever, and then later in the day I posted a fucking meme, whatever. But just getting your page's name like in front of other people's feeds, but doing that and being very frequent with it, it almost does better for me anyways. Than boosting a post. When I boost a post, I get people in like Uruguay and shit. They're like, I want to come on your podcast. I'm like, dude, you don't even fucking live here.
Yeah,
like,
because
I'm not flying you here.
Well, I've heard somebody else say that, like somebody who actually was employed to do marketing, saying that, they, in their mentality, you got to post at least 5 times a day.
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
And I'm like, any account that I see posting that much, at least I'm going to mute it.
Yeah, unfollow.
Probably I'm going to unfollow it. But,
but we're assholes.
At least I'm going to mute it. I don't think we're assholes. I think we're normal.
Maybe.
Because like first of all, none of us can be on the thing that many hours a day. Like you've got a little bit of time that you can kind of tinker with it. But I don't need to see 6 posts from the same guy.
Right. Well, the thing about the 6 post thing is like, because of the algorithm, not every one of your followers is going to see all of those posts. They might catch one, and then the next day they might catch another one, because it kind of filters it out that way. So I mean, it's ridiculous and it drives me batshit crazy trying to keep up with it.
I feel like 5 posts a month is like the upper limit.
For you?
Yeah, I guess. Well, also because it takes
You're gonna have to give me access to the Instagram.
Yeah, you might need to.
It takes so much time. Like even I don't have the time. I don't have like a regular 8 to 5 situation, but even I don't have the time to spend.
Creating
just making posts to put. Come on.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing too. You don't always have to have like a manufactured like manicured like perfect post. Like I've started just like making stories, just grab my phone and just talking to the thing, and then I post it and done. Talking about what I'm doing or where I'm going or whatever the fuck it is, or if it's just a thought I had for the day,
So do you what do you do personally to be, I guess the word I guess would be disciplined about augmenting your personal creative capacity? Like, what do you do? Like, is there something you do every day or something you do every other day or something? I know you do this every week, and so you having a chance to chat with people and talk with people about things. But what other stuff do you do personally to maybe ramp up the stuff that's going on?
I try to, like I said, what I've kind of come to find is that people want to know who you are, who the artist is, like who are they behind the music or behind the podcast. So I get on there and I show people, I'll do like I said, my posts are posts, so like my photography page, it's like photos that I've taken, sessions that I've done. And then on my stories, it might just be like me being goofy, or whatever, just having a thought.
Sure.
But I get a fuck ton of content out of 2 hours or however long we've been talking, with you guys, so I can clip that out and then I can just schedule it for the rest of the week. And I don't even have to think about it anymore. I'll do that and then I'll go back and I've got other clips that I've got to do and I'll schedule those out, but as far as discipline goes, I'm not. I'm not.
I wondered about that because there's some people who are really good about this is what I do at 7 o'clock. This is what I do now.
So I had a guy, I don't know if you've seen him. If you've been down to St. Augustine, you've probably seen him. But I had a guy on. His name is Captain Jack White. He does a Jack Sparrow impersonation.
Okay.
And it's really fucking good, But he came on the show, and he was like normal, and then he got dressed as and on the show, during the show. It was kind of cool. But he was talking about, he blew up from when I first started following him, he had like 800 people following him on Facebook. And then like a week later, or a month later, he had 10,500. And I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? And he's like, dude, literally, he said, I post 3 to 4 times a day. And I do, all I see is him on my fucking feed. So I know it's true. On Instagram and Facebook, it's just, it's him. But he works with a lot of other artists, and he tags if he works with he loves photographers to come photograph him. So and he'll tag the shit out of you, and he'll make his own. Mute his mic.
Hold the cabbage. I just want the sausage.
Oh shit! I knew that was coming. That's what she said.
We're making that a fucking shirt.
Oh boy.
Right, hold the cabbage.
I just want the sausage.
Yeah. I think I will make that a t-shirt.
New EP coming out.
Oh my God, yes.
Hold the
Please
cabbage.
make that a song. Even if it's a joke, and then when you see me at a show, I need to hear that song. Have you guys done any work with businesses as far as brands and stuff like that? Like people that want I know this is probably beneath you, but writing jingles and shit? No?
Haven't ever.
I thought about commissioning you guys to write a 30-second little bit for the podcast. Is that what you think of me? Do I need to get some fucking overalls on?
Yeah.
Froggy went a courtin', he did ride. Crambone. Y'all don't know that. Tom and Jerry.
Graybeard Podcast. Graybeard Podcast.
Why?
He's trying.
I don't know.
I played a couple of chords and sang something.
He did.
I feel like that needs electric guitar, some nasty, he rides a bike.
I like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know. But
They are literally manufacturing a song for our show right here on the show live.
Hold the cabbage.
I want the sausage. Well, anyways, guys, It's like, what have we got? Almost 9 o'clock?
Midnight.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
It's midnight.
9 o'clock?
Oh, it's 9.
Do you guys want to play like one last song and then you can play us out?
Give me the
Sure.
sausage.
Is there anything that you guys want to drop as far as like your socials or anything like that? I shouldn't have asked you. Just do that. Just give them your socials, your Instagram, your Facebook handle, your website, all the good things, and some dates.
Well, this is gonna surprise you.
I like being surprised.
Every one of our things is Sparks in the Garden. Instagram
Wow.
at Sparks in the Garden, Facebook Sparks in the Garden.
No underscores or anything.
Nope.
Oh, you got
Sparks in
lucky.
the Garden, all together.
MySpace/Sparks in the Garden.
Really?
Sure.
Wow.
Oh, please, God, make that a thing.
Friendster.
Friends.
SparksInTheGarden.com is a real thing.
Yes.
You can listen to our songs on there. Even actually, you can
Buy them.
buy a hat. I mean, it's a
Is all your merch on there?
regular.
Or is it just hats?
All of it's not on there. Well, it's the stuff that's on our website is only the stuff that I feel confident when it comes from the printer it's going to be correct.
Oh, I got you.
So I had to take the t-shirts off of the website
Oh?
because they often come out with like
Oh,
Sparks
they're
in the
not-
Garden. It's
oh.
like
I want those. I'll
the accident shirts.
Yes.
Sparks in the, yeah, it's
Yeah.
some
for
of them
sure.
are not great.
I've had at least a dozen of them.
Well, if you, I don't know who you go
Like
through,
samples when I'm like, I want to
CD's
see
Crafty
it in this
Creations,
combination of
she can hook you
colors
up.
and blah, blah, blah. You know,
but
like,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
So, I mean, specifically for T-shirts, I'm doing it the old school way, but I'm just not doing it in large quantities.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I was. But
Like straight up screen printing.
okay. Yeah.
But, I mean, but yeah, there is merch that you can get on the website, like a tote bag, like a.
And every dollar helps feed a
Tim.
hungry bandmate.
I mean, if someone were to actually make one of these purchases,
Fucking Sally Struthers.
I would get the tiny margin. Yeah. But
Yeah. No, I mean, it helps, right? I mean, it's not like you're not doing that to pay a mortgage or anything, but it fucking helps.
Well,
You
it
put
would-
some gas in your
It
vehicle.
would help if like 100 people did it at the same time.
That would be dope for
But
sure.
Yeah. But
Like every
anyway,
day, 100 people every day, all at the same time.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
But no, but I mean on our website, basically all the stuff is there. You can send us a booking request. There's like photo galleries if anybody needs that. But like like our lyric videos are on there,
Yeah.
and also like YouTube, Sparks in the Garden, everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music. We're on all the stuff.
Yeah.
Whichever platform you use. So earlier you mentioned that you have been using Apple, then you dumped it
Yeah.
and switched to something else.
Mm-hmm.
We're on that one too.
Amazon. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I
so-
found it on Amazon.
I mean, we're actually on Napster and iHeart.
There's no
and
Napster anymore. Shut down.
Well,
I'm
it's
the real Napster.
there's a new. I mean, it's
No, Napster.
it's not the exact same thing, but there is a service called Napster.
Get the fuck out. Huh.
Napster.
Yeah.
I didn't know those.
He's going to Google it.
I didn't
It's
know
on,
those.
so we're on TikTok, which is not something I really wanted to do, but I was just
It's
like,
where
well,
that's where
we're
it's
on
at.
all of them, so we might as well be on all
Yeah.
of them,
Yeah, and something I was telling one of my past guests, we were having a conversation. She called me, and I was just telling her. She was asking me advice, and I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Mm.
But I mean, about like social media and stuff. And I said, why don't I was like, I've been thinking about trying something else. Like, I want to use TikTok for certain content, and then Instagram for other content, and then Facebook for whatever shit I want my mom to see, because that's the only place she follows me. But like each platform having a different thing, but being consistent on each platform with
That'd be a cool idea.
each thing, so that way people know when they go to that platform, they're gonna know what they're coming to see.
But see, I like that idea, and to me, like that's part of the art of it too.
Playing
but,
around with it.
But I don't know if that's
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna work either.
Right, in terms of like actually getting traffic or views
Right.
or followers. I don't know if that would matter. but-
Right. Well, you guys are funny together. I mean, I think definitely TikTok, when you're cutting up with each other, that's the kind of shit you should do on there.
Yeah.
But I mean, and just easy stuff. You don't need to put together a fucking skit, But at any rate, I'm happy that you guys came tonight.
If we wrote out skits, he'd have to be able to read. So.
Oh, Jesus. He just put you under the bus like that.
You didn't know I can't read?
He has his hearing aids out. He can't hear you. But thank you for coming tonight. I know it was a pain in the ass to get here, and I hope it was fun for you.
So
Yes.
I was still.
I know he was going to say
I
yes.
was hung up on the one thing about remembering the blanding traffic, but
Yeah, it sucks.
But no, dude, thanks for having us out.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
For inviting us and
well,
being so good to us.
fuck yeah, man. I love you guys, and I honestly and I say that wholeheartedly because I think, and I'm starting a fucking movement. Guys don't
Right now?
No.
Do
I
we
mean,
need
I've been I'm good.
Oh.
No.
Like a
I
turtle
haven't had enough
turtle
coffee.
head?
Yeah, it's prairie dogging, but
Okay.
not that kind of movement.
Oh, okay.
But like,
Sorry.
I just feel like guys,
Call it sausage and cabbage.
we just don't say I love you to each other enough. You know,
But I do say you're sexy.
man, you're both very sexy bitches. Okay. So, but I love you guys, and I'm super happy that you're my friends. And if anything that I could ever do to help support what you're doing, I mean, I'm there for it. But yeah, you guys go to Amazon, iTunes, sparksinthegarden.com, and download that fucking music so these guys can, buy a Zagnut bar. Do they even make those anymore?
I don't know.
You know what though?
Beetlejuice just popped in my head. Hey, you got a Zagnut bar.
Zagnut.
But on the way home,
You're going to get one?
I know they still make whatchamacallit because
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
true.
that
They're
one
the
recently.
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr.
Whatchamacallit.
Good Bar.
I'll get one of those.
Yeah, they should probably get
Mr.
rid of
Good,
Mr. Good Bar.
listen to this asshole, Mr. Good Bar. That's son-in-law bullshit right there.
I said that.
I didn't say that.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
That's old man
I,
bullshit.
I know like you bring up like the worst one. Like you might as well have said Laffy
It's
Taffy or
nothing
something.
better than sitting down on a
Circus
Sunday afternoon
peanuts.
with my Nestle's Crunch.
Nestle, I'm down. I'm in on the chocolate stuff,
Oh, yeah.
but
Like a good
not
Kit
Mr.
Kat
Good Bar
fuck
though.
up.
Come on, just chocolate and peanuts.
Yeah,
Like they gave up.
yeah,
Snickers is over here figuring out how to put the caramel and the,
Oh, dude,
and the
they nailed it.
nougat all together.
yeah. What
And
the
then-
hell is nougat?
I don't
Anyways,
know,
we
it's
could go on for
weird.
hours about nougat. Ladies and gentlemen, next week will be my 100th episode, and I will have the gentleman that my very first interview on this podcast was Russell Armento with So Scenic Photography, and he will be back on next week.
Dude, his
So
stuff
please-
is cool.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
Yeah.
He's good. Please tune in and say hi, and go follow these guys, Sparks in the Garden. Get all their music. You will not be disappointed, I promise you. And they're going to play us out.
Oh,
We're not going to play our outro music. We're just going to let them play. And we'll fade to black towards the end. And we love you, and we'll see you next week.
I didn't know we were playing.
Oh, yeah, hooker. Tune up. And you guys can play whatever the hell you want. Love you guys.
Well, I think. What do you think? Which one?
I just saw where you were tuned. Or where you had capo on. Here you go.
I never thought it could be so far between where I am and where you are. But more than the miles keeping us apart, there is a coldness in my heart. The mirror reflects someone I don't know. The face I'd expect, but it's hollow. A ghostly reminder it's only me. Never the man I wish I could be. Galaxies, trails of light, the universe universe of questions in my mind, wandering, wasted time, lost in the darkness of my own design. Oh, better me, won't you come and be my guide? These uncharted spaces that I have crossed, desperate to reach you at any cost. I don't think I'm closer to you at all, and still the dream of you lives on. You're still the reason I'm going on. Galaxies, trails of light, the universe of questions in my mind, wandering, wasted time, lost in the darkness of my own design. Oh, better me, won't you come and be my guide? Will I catch you somewhere out among the stars? Does this journey end someplace I've always known? Have you been hiding here within me all along? Is the story not about you anymore? Galaxies, trails of light, the universe of questions in my mind, wandering, wasted time, lost in the darkness of my own design. If there's a way to navigate this life, oh, better me, won't you come and be my guide? Be my guide, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Night, everybody. See you next week.